What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, so you lost. Next time you win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
He was a giant man. I can tell you that. Folks at home, how you doing tonight? Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I know we are. We got a brand new Ike Live show for you tonight, and guess what? It's a good one. Joining us later in the show, we've got world-famous musician and a pretty cool dude, Billy Strings, joining us. And then in our second segment, we're going to be catching up with Ish Monroe. Haven't talked to Ish in a while. We're going to see what he's been up to. Talk about some big changes he's making in 2023. By the way, let me say Happy New Year to everybody. This is our first show since December, since the New Year. So let me intro the room real quick, and then we're going to get right into it. You're looking to my right here, and you're saying, huh? I know what you're thinking. You're saying, huh? Pete looks different.
He got handsome.
Pete got good.
I got younger.
Red Pete.
Yeah.
Pete got good looking and young.
Pete's on that adrenochrome.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, I'm Pete, and I just went back in time. Time traveler.
Pete, I mean, Paul, Powerbait Paul, it's good to have you in the studio.
Powerbait Pete.
I like you in this seat better. I mean, that seat was cool. Your normal chair is cool,
yeah.
but I like you here. So it's good to have you in the studio, man.
Good to be here, Mike.
All right, real quick before we go on the intro room, big news, real quick, just an update. Caught a big one today. I saw a picture of it.
Not a big one.
It was a good one.
It was my first good bass of the year. Only the second bass I've ever caught in a jerkbait.
Okay, we're going to talk more about that later. Sitting to my left, the one and only Dave Brodzik, a.k.a. Fathead, a.k.a. Wharf. Dave, how you doing tonight?
Yeah, great. I didn't catch a fish today.
No fish today?
No.
Have you fished yet in 2023?
No.
No!
Well, I haven't. Nope.
No, not at all. Not a
No,
cast.
I almost did.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I will soon.
All right.
I'll get out there.
That's okay.
Yeah, get out there.
Yeah. Let me finish introing the room. We've got a very special impromptu studio guest today. We've got Epic Eric joining us in studio. Eric.
What's good, everybody, man? Great to be here.
Dude, thank you for coming in the studio tonight. So I got to see it was a treat last night at the Ike Foundation event. And then Brian gave me a text today saying Eric might come and do IMs tonight.
That's
like,
right.
I'm
hell
stoked
yeah.
to work the board, man. So many nights watching this throughout the winters, man. Thank you, Ike Live crew, for saving my bass and soul for so many years.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that.
You got it.
I love to hear
Straight
that.
up.
I appreciate that. And producing the show, the one and only Brian the Carpenter. Brian, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I feel like my brain level is like the comparison of Paul to Pete.
Right.
And the size.
Yeah.
That's where my brain function is.
Okay. Yeah, you had a late night
It's about
last
half
night.
of what,
Yeah.
maybe a third, quarter.
You had a late night, plus you're running around, still hustling hard,
Well,
doing a lot of work. Yeah.
What are you saying, Brian, with the correlation between Pete and Paul?
I'm half the man that Pete is. I get it. I get it.
No, I don't. I'm trying to see who you're slighting.
Myself.
Oh.
Pete.
All right.
Because he's not here.
I
want to know how to jump on him also. I don't know.
I'll admit that.
Pete and myself. Also, you're not going to see this guy. I should like him.
Oh, he'll be in.
Yeah, he'll be in.
Yeah.
But I do want him to pop in. We've got Jake in the house tonight with us, doing some pictures and doing some content. So definitely we'll have Jake on a little bit here. Dave, I want to tell you this. This show is brought to you by some amazing sponsors, a few of which have been with us almost to 10 years. Can you believe it's been 10 years already? Dude, that's crazy.
No, I know, man.
To think that next show our very next show, which happens to be next weekend,
February 4th.
February 4th, is our 10th anniversary show. That's
Wow.
incredible, dude. That's incredible. But a lot of these sponsors have been here since day one. Mystery Tackle Box, man, let me tell you, this is the easy way to put it. If you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, you got some gift cards, some money laying around, get Mystery Tackle Box. Dude, this is an amazing investment. Brings tackle to your doorstep once a month. Check them out. If you go over there to mysterytacklebox.com, use the promo code IkeLive, you're going to get 30% off your first Elite Box, 50% off your first Pro Box. That's half. Also brought to you by Tackle Warehouse, AFCO. Got some great new Ike gear. Head over to AFCO.com. And last but not least, the Ike Foundation. And we're going to be talking more about the Ike Foundation. Brian, what time did you go to bed last night? Be honest. Don't lie to anybody right here.
I think we fell asleep around 4:30.
4:30. I was last man standing. I was last man standing of the 15 guys in that garage.
Wow.
It was alive.
First of all, how did you fit 15 guys in there? That's not a big shop.
Stacked up, dude.
Stacked heat.
Like
Yeah.
walleye, man. In
Wow.
a live well, bro.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
We had all 3 Cowans and all 3 Brookses in there.
Like
Oh
the
my gosh.
Hatfield.
Wow,
and
that's
McCoy.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
Hatfield McCoy issues.
Yeah.
It
For
was.
sure.
They are.
I might have come out there for that if I
It's
known
pure chaos,
Yeah,
dude.
I wish I knew
Was there any
that.
fisticuffs or was it just all yellow
Close.
fisticuffs?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Someone had to go for a walk to
There
calm
was a
themselves
cooling off
down.
period. I did a little coaching session outside. If his arm was straight, it might have happened. I don't know.
What were they arguing about?
Don't even know.
Eagles,
This goes back to like 40 years.
the best
30 years.
safety of all time.
Yeah, who you know
Who they should trade for?
who was out on third base
Yeah.
you know in
Right.
Little League back in Mount Ephraim, 1993.
Mount
The amount of
Ephraim.
guys call it MEPRI. MEPRI. All their old sports stuff was the abbreviation was MEPRI.
Really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
From Mount Ephraim?
Yeah.
The
know
mountains, mountain folk.
I played Mepri hockey, street hockey
Yeah, same.
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good league.
Hmm.
Big news, Brian. I'm going to
Uh-huh.
start with some updates here. Big news. The new boat showed up a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And last night at the Ike Foundation event, the new boat came wrapped. And it's a beautiful shout out to VFX Wraps.
Yeah, I didn't see him there.
Mike and Corinne. Yeah, Corinne was there. And,
Corinne was there?
She was there. Yep.
Oh, damn.
And beautiful. It looks
Corinne?
Yes, Corinne too. But the wrap, gorgeous. Gorgeous. So
Outstanding.
very excited to show everybody. Going to be making some posts, Jake, this week, giving everybody an update on the wrap. A little different layout this year on the wrap, but looks good, man. Looks good. Here's the thing about those wraps too, dude. It protects the finish of that boat unbelievably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like last year's boat, you know, but I sold it and then I can't sell it with the wrap on it. You know, it's like my responsibility to peel that off because it's got sponsor logos on it. And when you looked at it when it was wrapped, you're like, oh man, that boat's beat up. But then you peel that wrap off, dude, it's immaculate underneath. So I love the wrap concept is great. You know, I love it. I think it's great. But what a boat. I can't wait for you to see this wrap, Paul. It's great. Looks great.
Star Wars team?
Not Star Wars theme yet.
No.
No, I'm going to have that's in the mix down the road. But I do want to talk real quick. Becky's not here, but I do want to do a catch up on the Ike Foundation event. Brian Carpenter, scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best. What would you give it?
8, because Brozick wasn't there.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would give it an 8 or a 9. It was a good event.
My wife had to sit at a table of 8, and she was the only female.
Wow.
Imagine my discomfort.
Because the
Pain.
Cowans and the Brooksies don't bring their wives.
Right.
Nah.
On purpose.
They hide their shoes and they hide their wives' shoes and they make them cook and chase after the kids.
One of them might have told their wife that it was sold out and there were no seats left. And
Oh,
Yeah.
my
if she
God.
came, he would have had to stand or something.
And
Like that.
Oh,
and the other
man.
one buried her shoes in the yard in a spot not specified.
Unmarked.
In a marked grave.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Nah, it was nice being back. So that was Dave, that was the first official, you know, event like
Yeah.
that we've had since COVID. So it was nice being back. It's nice seeing people, you know, actually engaging with people, not, you know, via
Yeah.
telethon or any of that mess, you know. So
Yeah, I missed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I hate missing Chinese auctions no matter what they are, but
Oh, yeah.
especially for your event.
yeah.
you
And
know.
there was some good ones, man. Paul, we had Keith Thomas, Blacktown Swim Baits, so generous, donated like, I call it like 8 big giant dunks.
Oh yeah,
Swim
I
baits.
saw a picture.
What's
you
he sell
holding
one of
one.
those for?
They go for Brian Carpenter. What they go for? About 250, 250, 300, something in that range.
And
Yeah.
he donated 8
Yeah.
of them.
I would say there's 8 on that
Holy
table.
mackerel,
No
dude.
question, Nate.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
generous.
Yeah. It
How
was amazing.
And then afterwards, what he had left in his briefcase, handed him out.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Whoever had the hottest wife there, you
you
sir are a winner.
Now, John Valdez, I think, won 3 of the baskets. Wow.
He won. He had 3 baits.
He had 3 baits.
3 baits.
I
Yeah.
can confirm.
That's crazy.
Man, that briefcase he was carrying around,
Yeah.
I felt like it was like the football was in there, man.
Oh, yeah.
It
Yeah.
was like the
Football.
codes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was serious.
Yeah.
We had protection.
Yeah.
You guys didn't know that.
It was great. I should have got a picture of that because it actually looked like an old FBI looking briefcase.
Truly did.
Like it was black, like
Uh-huh.
no,
With like those fake gold.
Oh,
the-
yeah,
the,
yeah, the
the things.
hooks.
Yeah, yeah.
like he didn't have a handcuff, but it felt like he could
Oh,
have
yeah.
had a handcuff on there.
Should have
Shit.
had a handcuff.
Yeah.
He's probably trucking 10 grand worth of.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But those baits
Mm-hmm.
are awesome. Shout out to Keith Thomas for donating those. That was great. But great
And he
event.
was there for the after.
Was he
hours,
there?
Yeah.
Oh, Keith was there.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. Taking it
Wow.
all in.
Taking it all in. Doing a little
Yeah.
partying.
So, Dave, it all started. Nate Cowan, the youngest, he's got his arm in a sling. He had surgery, ruptured bicep. So Darren said to him that he should throw a white towel over it because he was just walking around like this all night with his arm in a sling, looking like a server. And then we all started speaking French, and from there it escalated.
To a one-arm fist fight.
Well,
Oh shit! Nice.
Nate was ready to take on the Brooks versus left arm or something.
I mean, the Cowans, I think, mop them up. I mean, there's weight classes in fighting for a reason. And I'm not saying that they're overweight, but they're big boys, man.
yeah.
There's a reason there's weight classes. The Brookses tend to be a little bit leaner.
Darren's gotten pretty big. So
No,
it's all on Darren.
Darren's in shape, but I mean,
He's never thrown a punch.
Zach's a big boy.
Yes. Anyhow.
But good event, good events. Shout out to everybody that came. I want to talk about this too, Dave. You brought it up. I wanted to wait till the show to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I got to go practice this year for the first 2 elite events.
Yeah.
And it was super cool, dude, from a lot of levels.
For the people that don't know,
Yeah. So, when I look back,
no, but Okeechobee and Seminole.
Okeechobee and Seminole,
Yeah.
first 2 elite events, and carved out time this year, Paul, to go put 4 full days. Now, I'm not talking about, wake up at 9, fish till 4. I'm talking about 4 dark to dark days scouting. So cool from a lot of levels. The first one is when I look back, Dave, I hadn't really practiced for an event. The last practice that I put in for an event, like serious practice, was the Knoxville Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah.
So it felt good to get back into that routine of,
Yeah.
going down and putting in the work and surveying. But the other cool part was, dude, I was with Uncle Don.
Oh, nuh-uh.
That was so fucking
They're,
cool.
they're letting you guys do that again
So if they're letting you practice the 30-day practice
before the cutoff.
with a family member,
Yeah.
as long as they've never been to that fishery.
Yeah.
And so Don was never at Okeechobee or Seminole with me.
Nice.
It was his first time at
That's
both.
pretty
So,
cool.
but dude, that's cool, Paul. And
Oh, heck yeah. Oh,
when
yeah.
you get to hang out with family, your
Absolutely.
dad or whoever it is.
How old's Don now?
Don is 71.
And he was pushing dark to dark with
Dude,
you.
dark to dark work.
And I know you gave him no quarter.
Oh,
None.
dude.
That
No
old
way.
man was getting smashed.
Now I did do this. Brian the Carpenter, you're gonna be proud of me. I did make sure we had water and food in the boat.
Like Bengay or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you did that with us, dude.
Yeah,
And- but it lasted a day.
It lasted a day.
Yeah,
that was
your
it.
week's worth of snacks.
Oh,
a
they're
day
gone.
from
Yeah.
there.
Now I had for Don every day. I had water. We had 2 or 3 sandwiches.
Like
in the boat, so-
Ethiopian bug out kit. It's like a granola bar and a bottle of water.
But dude, it was good. It was good to fish with Don, and we did. I would call it like 60-40. We like 60% of the time we did a lot of idling and looking.
Yeah.
Which was cool. And 40% of the time we fished. Don caught some big ones.
Yeah.
Don caught some 4 or 5 pounders. And we saw a lot of cool shit, dude. We saw gators. We saw great, sunrises, sunsets.
It's the best there.
Dude, the coolest thing I've ever seen, and all the years I've been doing this, I think was the first time I've ever seen it. I saw an eagle come down and get a coot. Straight up freaking maim a coot. Like come down and freaking hit it. It would go under, it would pop up, boom, he'd hit it again. He finally hit it so many times, that thing was smoked. Grabbed it, flew off with that thing.
Wow.
Dude, craziest thing. Just me and my uncle were just like, what the hell?
I saw one with like a 2-foot snake, and it's down on Bugs Island. I saw him flying with the snake in his hands, or the fuck feet.
Yeah.
What do they call them? Claws? Talons?
Talons.
Yeah.
But it was a cool experience. And I hope it helps. It's like coming off a bad season last year, I really felt like I have to get back to this. I feel like maybe I got too complacent and not putting.
Well, we talked about this. I said you need to be like Rocky training in Siberia again with no shirt on, like
I know
old school equipment.
I
Like
did. I feel
body
like
weight.
I did that. I feel like I put the time in. And here's the benefit about practicing. And Eric, you know this too, dude. You get to get in tune with your equipment a little more.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a new boat. It's new electronics. I've got these new Abu rod and reels that I'm designing with Abu. They're in the prototype state. So all of a sudden, I got 8 full days with this new equipment. You know what I mean?
So that way you can take your time and really figure out, what you like about it and what needs to be improved.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so for the rods and reels, exactly. Dude, I got some great notes, but for the boat, to be able to break it in, not freaking driving it on the Delaware for 4 hours and saying that's it, like actually fishing out of it for 8 days.
That's awesome.
So it was a good trip, dude. It was a good trip. Shout out to Uncle Don for going on that trip with me, dude.
Being able to survive it. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Well, they're not easy days. We go to these places. It's funny because at Seminole, especially, we had this really nice house. Becky found us on VRBO, but you don't get to enjoy the house. You know what I mean? Like the day we checked in, we're like, dude, this place is great. It's like right on the lake or a canal off the lake, and it's like got a fire pit. And the guy that rented us a place left a message like, well, we'll leave the wood in the thing for when you guys do a fire pit, and you're never there.
Where'd I put my McDonald's trash? Dude? That's all I need to know.
You're throwing the worst food down your throat. And you get back, and dude, you're smoked. Like you sit down on the couch, it's 8:30, and you're just like,
hey, because 4 a.m.'s coming quick.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
you got back to the old school way of doing things, huh?
Felt good, man. Felt good to be back in that routine and putting in the work. And I don't want. I want to go out and fish this year, and not. I don't want to look back and say I should have did this. I should have did that. I want to put in my prep work. I plan on practicing for 3 or 4 more of the 8 events this year. So I'm going to put my work in. For the ones I can.
Yeah.
And see how it shakes down, You're
going to be able to recon Sabine?
Sabine, I'm not going to be able to recon, which of all the tournaments on the schedule, that's the one where it probably makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because it's so vast and there's so much backwater. But that's unfortunately one I can't get to.
Yeah.
But I'll get to Murray. I'll get back to Santee for a few days. And I'll get to Lay Lake, which I haven't been to in years and years and years.
Both the first 2 are so like they're almost the same thing every year, every month.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Okeechobee where you're looking for new grass and
Well, here's the thing. And I don't mind talking about it because I'm sure we've got other competitors that are listening now or will listen to this podcast. And I'm not afraid to talk about it. Dude, talk about devastated. Paul, dude, Lake Okeechobee. Look like a nuclear fucking bomb went off in the middle of the lake. Eric, I'm not kidding you.
What the
Dude,
heck?
I get there the first day. I launched at Clewiston. I ran that whole rim canal because I wanted to put hours on that Yamaha, right? So I took my time. I, got that, ran the whole rim canal. I popped out up there. And, dude, I rode just for like 2 hours in the main lake. Everywhere I went, the water was chocolate milk.
What?
And the reeds were uprooted. Uprooted reeds, no cattails anywhere. And all the cattails were blown against the bank to where it literally looked like a napalm came in and just destroyed it all.
That's
dude.
unbelievable. Was it the hurricane?
It was 2 hurricanes back to back.
So
that both of them almost like sat on the lake.
Oh, that's brutal.
So
yeah,
devastated. Dude.
Florida people already know this, but like for the rest of the people in the rest of the country, Fort Myers, there's people that haven't had electricity yet. They're still 6 months away from it.
Yeah,
they're living on generators down there. My nephew's doing roofs over in that way.
Yeah, but it was unbelievable how, so practice there I think is going to really help, because if you would just go and say, I'm going to go fish West Wall.
So it's going to fish small, isn't it?
It's going to fish small. It's going to fish small. It's going to fish different, right? Like there's not the normal kinds of vegetation in most areas right now. So
man,
it's going to be an interesting derby, but yeah, devastated, just crazy, and here's the other thing too, lake level. Correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody, by the way, if you're watching, if you have a comment or question, chime in. Eric's going to be following us the whole time.
Yeah, bring him. I'm on YouTube as well. So as
on YouTube, okay.
But here in studio as like live. So yeah.
So I think I want to say that normal level on Okeechobee is 12 feet. 12 foot is their normal level.
From the ground up?
Average.
From the bottom up? Or top
I don't know how they mark it.
Top down.
But 12 feet is normal lake level. When I went there, it was 16.34.
It's a levied lake, Bri.
Dude, 16.34. So here's the thing. You got all these cattails dead, blown everywhere. The water's dirt, chocolate milk, piss ass, dirt, shit, water. And you are in 4 to 6 foot everywhere. And you can't get back any further. Dude, that's the thing. I was so amazed at how limited the spawning habitat was. You would think with high water, you just keep going back and going back and going back, right? You can't get back there.
Oh my gosh.
You need a fucking airboat to get back there.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So like Monkey Box gone.
Monkey Box is barren. Now the water in Monkey Box it wasn't as bad as a lot of the lake color-wise, but the days of hyacinths and beautiful cattails.
Well, the high water's bad
gone.
for that. You want that place 3 feet below pool, because that's when everything grows.
You want it low because it grows, and fish in a barrel. Right?
Yeah,
fish can't be as many places.
Oh God!
But
I'm sorry to hear all this shit. Jesus.
Well, I would dude. I wish I was a fly on the wall when those hurricanes were hitting the lake. Can you imagine the size of the waves coming across Okeechobee?
I'd rather be like a 90-pound kettlebell on the wall than a fly during a hurricane, dude.
Mike, imagine how good they would have been biting right before those hurricanes.
Oh yeah,
they would have been on fire.
Yeah, people down there ain't doing that, dude. They're worrying about their house getting blown away. They're there for survival. Not standing on the bank with a Rapala in his hand.
Yeah. What can I say? I've never been to Florida. I'm a Jersey boy. It's
crazy. Yeah. But it was a good trip, dude. Good trip. Good scouting trip. It's nice to be back in Florida. And here's the other bonus of this, Brian Carpenter. I told you this. The last day we were there was Saturday.
Yep.
The cold front and the wind was so bad they actually canceled a BFL that day. Because especially at Okeechobee now, they don't play when, you remember years ago that fellow died down there or whatever. So the BFL got canceled. But this is one of our days. So let's go out and put the work in, right? So, I did a lot of looking. But I'm like, I finally got to an area and I'm like, man, I need to fish. And I'm talking about a cold front, dude. Like, I woke up like freezing, like water temperature dropped like 10 degrees. Just start flipping. Finally get a bite, hit it 8.6 on my last day at Okeechobee.
Of course.
Dude, felt so good to catch a big one.
I've seen that.
A legitimate 8.6 on the Normark scale, dude.
Wow.
It's funny when you catch it, dude, when no eyeballs get that big.
Oh, yeah.
When I looked at it, my uncle looked at it, we landed it, and I'm like, Don's like, that's a 9-10 pounder. I'm like, it's not that big, until you actually weigh it, because they look gigantic. You know what I mean? But that's a big one. 8.6 is a big one, man.
Big enough to get your whole fist in his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Oh, yeah. Giant. Good trip. I did want to catch up one other thing, and then we'll see if anybody else has anything to catch up on. Is Brian, you'll be happy about this one. Colonoscopy I just had last week.
I just made my appointment the other day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is great contact.
It's yeah. So, Dave, have you had yours? We turned 50.
Yeah.
It's, you know, by the book, of course. You're supposed to have a colonoscopy. Yeah.
I didn't go get that done.
Yeah. Yeah. I had it done. Yeah. So I did it. You know what I mean? And here's the thing, dude. The worst part of it, I'm telling you, Paul, you're a young guy, but eventually you have to engage
Shit, they
in
make you drink.
Couple decades.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're flushed out, right?
Yeah.
That was bad. But the worst part of it, not eating for a day and a half, dude.
What?
A day and a half.
Day and a half?
A day and a half. So that, you know, so the day before, you know, you got to fast. There's no food. You start drinking that stuff. Everything just, you know, just flushed out. Well, then my appointment is at 11 something. So I get there, you know, get there at 10:30. I'm at 10:30. Dude, I'm so hungry. My stomach's rumbling, dude. You know what I mean? You get that hunger pain. I'm in there, you know.
It's like fishing on your boat.
Right. They're running late. Dude, everything's late. Dude, before I know it, it's noon. And I'm still sitting in the freaking
all sucked out, like you're ready to make weight, like weigh-ins.
I'm looking around. I'm like, what else?
And the best is yet to come.
Yeah. Yeah. But
hey, get to get.
Yeah, but I'm here to tell you. Listen to me. This is important, Dave. You have to get it. This
Paul?
is good. A lot of that.
I was
that's
scheduled,
a bad camp.
so I was scheduled to do it.
Okay.
And then their COVID protocols made me so infuriated. I was about to go man on fire up in that motherfucker. So I was like, I'm not even coming. Fuck you and your stupid tests. And you can take your stupid box back as shit that you want me to eat beforehand.
So they actually,
they're still serious about that.
Yeah, they still, yeah,
about the,
yeah. No one told them. No one told the medical people.
Oh,
yeah, because I called for my appointment, and and I've been meaning to do it, just kept pushing it back. But it was probably Thursday. I finally called, and I called the lady, and I said, "Hey, Diane, you left me a voicemail on February 15th, 2022 about my." She got a kick out of that. But that's how long I've been sitting on that message.
Dang.
No pun intended. But yeah, if you had a vaccine, we're going to need proof of that. Like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They wanted the card.
Like, we're going to be in Wawa before this thing with each other, you retard. And I'm going to come sit down and I have to show you a card. Like, we're going to be getting our fucking sandwiches next to each other.
Let's go out with a bang, folks. And on that note,
that's right. That's right.
Colonoscopies to
Wawa.
Colonoscopy to Wawa to COVID cards.
No.
Yeah.
Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci.
Oh no.
I'd love to get him on. Fake Fauci?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to have him on this show.
Are you updated with your booster?
That accent. Oh my God, dude. They're fucking with us. There's no way, dude. They are, man.
No Fauci ouchie for me.
Yeah.
They might be. They might be messing with us. Brian, we got a couple great guests coming on. So I want to ask you a question. You want to take a little break or we'll just get right into it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll get right into it. All right.
Break,
so
break.
I am so excited. Listen, if you're watching the show tonight, I'm so excited to have this guy on. Really good dude, a friend of mine. Billy Strings is going to join us. Cannot wait to have him on the show. Do we got him, Brian Carpenter? We do. All right. It's live on Ike Live, the one and only Billy Strings. Billy!
Yo, what's going on, boys?
How you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. All right. First things first, dude, you are, besides probably Kevin Van Dam, you're the hardest working guy I know. You're never home. You're always traveling. You're doing something. Where are you right now? Are you home? Where are you at?
Actually, yeah. For once.
Wow. You're home.
Yeah. Feels good.
Does feel good.
I got a question for Billy before you get into
already.
Yeah, well, Billy, bear with me. Here's Brian. We've got some new studio changes. We've been here in a minute. What do you actually see from your vantage point right now?
Well, I see a couple boys sitting on some couches.
Yeah.
All right. So
they can see us.
I don't know where the camera's at, but
okay.
All right, I'm out.
Well, there's cameras all over the place. It could be that one. It could be that one over there.
Yeah, it's the middle one. I see all three of y'all. So it's the.
Okay. Well, that's good. Billy, it's great to have you on the show. We've had a cool opportunity to fish together a few times, and it was pretty amazing. And I've had a couple of cool opportunities to go to some of your shows, and it has been amazing. This is the first thing I got to ask you. And it's crazy because a lot of people I know are in different genres of music. And when they, they heard, oh, you went to a Billy Strings concert. I said, yeah, I went to the concert. They're from all these different walks of life, like guys that like rap, guys that like metal, guys that like country, and they love you. Why is that? Like, it's amazing because I've never really seen that before, but people from different walks of life that like different music love your music. Have you heard that before? Is this new or is it just me?
No, I mean, I've definitely heard that, I don't know. I think bluegrass is just good music, it's acoustic and it's played with instruments, there's no computer involved. It's just, acoustic, organic music. And so I think people kind of, no matter where you're from, you can't really deny that, somebody sitting there picking a banjo or something. It's like, that's good shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. And it's funny because the first show I went to, I was actually with Brian, and I can't remember the venue in Philadelphia, but we had some amazing seats and we were watching. And honestly, I was like, trying to think of the right word, but I was like mesmerized by the performance. And one of the things I loved is that there wasn't it wasn't like a structured performance, And then when I got to see your second show, it was all new again. It felt so fresh and new, but it wasn't like, a lot of shows I've been to, it almost felt like staged, where there's segments like this happens at this time. Your shows are very fluid and natural. I love that. Is that just your style, or is that bluegrass music in general?
I think it comes more from like the jam band world, like the Grateful Dead kind of world, because what we have is like a following that these people are jumping on trains and planes and all sorts of automobiles, and a lot of folks come to every single show. I see the same faces in the front row, whether we're in New York or Seattle, Michigan to Texas. I look out in the same, I can recognize people no matter where we are, because these people come to every show. So what happens is we have to alternate the set lists, accordingly. You can't eat the same thing for dinner every night, so I'm not going to serve these people the same. I'm going to mix it up for them. And, one night we'll have pizza and tomorrow we'll have, some burgers or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny too, Dave. I mentioned this before, but the vibe at Billy shows, it's like, dude, everybody, there's this very positive energy at the shows, and it's funny because other shows I've been to, you don't feel that, you know what I mean?
Community.
Yeah. It felt like community, and that's super cool, man. That's super cool. That's a special thing that you have. I think your fans are definitely, they're regular dudes, they're not. Yeah, it's a cool vibe,
Yeah, they're the best. I mean, I love all those folks so much. They've put, so much like love in my heart and, bread on my table, literally. But I do anything for those folks, man. They travel around and see us, and I think that's like almost just as much as the music that the folks coming to see. They enjoy going and hanging out with their friends, and they all come from different states and stuff, and they gather at a hotel and they have these big parties and stuff, and it's just really cool. It is like a big community, and I've seen people come out of things like heroin addictions and stuff, and meet somebody on tour and find their family, and there's a big supportive crowd too among like sober concert goers, kind of like this group that meets at every concert, and because it's like sometimes weird to go to a concert if you're not like drinking or something, or everybody else is partying and you're trying to stay sober or something. It's like, but they embrace each other and they help each other out, and it's just such a beautiful community. I'm so humbled every single time I get to, just really sit and think about it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mike, that was Epic Eric last night in my garage.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the sober one
At the bass party.
At the bass party.
and nobody was supporting him.
No, nobody was supportive of
He was on an island all by himself.
That is absolutely the last crew anyone trying to be sober needs to be around.
Yeah.
Your group of friends.
Man, I survived.
Yeah. Well, you're strong.
Bass strong, brother.
15 dudes circled around a 16-foot tracker.
A bass tracker, huddled around a bass
garage.
tracker. The power of a bass tracker, the magnetism of it. Billy, I do have to tell you this funny story. So my mom, she's really like, she checks in on me every other day. She's just a great mom, So, it was like, I don't know. I think it was the last time we fished together, she had called me and she's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm out with Billy and I'm, go to the concert probably tomorrow, whatever. And she's like, I got, what's his name? And that whole thing. So I turned my mom onto your music, and she's like, she loved it. She's really loved it. But she called me back the next time, a couple days later. She's like, I love this music. She's probably like listening to it on some like rudimentary app or something, She's like, how old is that old man? How old is that old fellow? He's an old soul. This is my mom saying that. And I thought about it. I'm like, no, Mom, like Billy's like young guy. He's like younger than me. But it was an awesome compliment. Have you heard that before? Like I think you do have an old soul about you, especially through your music. Have you heard that before? But that came from my mom,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the people who I was raised by. My parents, they surrounded me with like music that was of their era and even before. I mean, a lot of this bluegrass stuff was, I guess, recorded in the 50s and 60s, and I was just exposed to a lot of that stuff, and I grew up listening to the music that my parents listened to and watching them. I grew up watching Andy Griffith show and shit, and it's like, I was born in 1992, but I was watching Andy Griffith show, like it's just how I was raised. When I was like a little kid, I was into like Lon Chaney Jr. and Boris Karloff and like those monster movies and stuff, like the old school monster films and just weird shit like that. Yeah. And when I was in 5th grade talking about, Bill Monroe and shit, and it's like, who's this fucking kid talking about this old ass music, and it's just kind of how it's always been, I guess.
That horror special, like with Elvira, back when you were in your monster movies. You remember Elvira?
No.
Really? Nah, she was like, I don't know. She was like an old
Oh,
broad
with the long hair.
Yeah, she was an old broad with like giant hammers, like dressed like a Fred, what the hell, Herman Munster's wife. And she would host like the old horror movies, like the Swamp Thing, and I don't know, the old Dracula shit. I can't believe you never saw that, because that would have been around your time,
Yeah.
Elvira.
Yo, Elvira. Yeah.
There's a song about that, wasn't there?
Yo, Elvira? Is that the name of it?
Elvira.
So Billy, I gotta jump in here.
Yeah, because that died.
I've always like kind of knew I liked bluegrass, but from being up here, we listened to, kind of grew up with a lot of metal and everything else. And I remember a song, was it The First Train Robbery? Remember who sings that? The First Train Robbery.
Google it. Gotta ask Alexa.
Larry Cordell.
Oh yeah, Larry Cordell. Wow.
Yeah, back when I had like Sirius XM, and I would just tune into the bluegrass channel, and that song just kind of like, and it always felt that Americana feel about it.
Yeah.
And then this past couple years, COVID hit and all this ridiculous nonsense that's been going on. Like I kind of retreated, and Turmoil and Tinfoil came kind of came across my radar somehow, and that just like got me hooked back into bluegrass, and it's about all I've listened to for the last 3 years.
I remember when you first found it. It seemed like it was longer than 3 years ago, but I remember you talking about bluegrass.
And it'll get under your skin, and it's hard to get out if it gets in there.
It's soothing to me, man. It's comforting.
So mine had a metal tie. I found a dude who would play like Raining Blood on whatever that round guitar is that they use. It was amazing, dude. Yeah, like what's it called, a banjo? Yeah, he was doing Raining Blood on a banjo, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Billy, I know the story, but your influence early was key to your life, right? You know, your stepdad early on, that was real important to you becoming a musician, right? Talk a little bit about that for people watching right now. I think, you know, that's important for anyone, is that early influence, but he had a great influence on you. You actually just came out with a new album too. I haven't listened to it yet. I can't wait to get it. Me and my dad, brand new album you got to record with your stepdad. How important was he to your life and to changing your life, shaping your life?
Oh man, the most important. I mean, he's just a badass guitar player and singer, right? And he's just a really sweet dude, you know, like wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's a big old teddy bear, and everyone loves him that meets him, and he happens to be this amazing musician, and he has a lot of friends, and he plays his guitar, and everybody gathers around, and everybody sings songs together. And I saw this as a kid, you know. I saw my dad, you know, everybody sitting around having a couple beers or whatever, and they're all singing like whatever they're singing, you know, because my dad will play everything from Bill Monroe to fucking Rod Stewart, you know. And I just saw how much joy he brought to these parties and stuff. It was like, man, I want to do that when I grow up, you know. And he just, he's always been my hero. He still is, you know. And anytime I hit any milestone or anything in my career, you know, I called Dad immediately. Dad, you're never gonna guess what? I'm playing at fucking Red Rocks, or, you know, I just got to sit in with Seldom Scene, or we won a fucking Grammy, you know, like, and it's all thanks to you, you know. And you know, like, I just remember being a little kid, like, if he wore Levi's, I wore Levi's, you know. If he wore a ball, I wore a ball cap, and I was his little sidekick, man. You know,
what's most amazing out of this, like, I know more Native Americans than I know guys that have good stepdad stories. Like, this is the coolest thing, actually hearing a dude like who had a good stepdad. You know what I mean? The rest of us were
Can you repeat that? I'm trying to process what you just said. Say that one more time.
I know more Native Americans than I know guys who had good stepdad stories.
Okay, I'm gonna marinate.
I got you.
Meaning
see what you're coming.
Meaning his stepdad was an influence to him. I know some guys in this room, our stepdads, it wasn't the same situation.
10-4.
I absolutely wasn't wearing what Marty was wearing. You know what I mean?
Same.
Now, it is cool though, like that the things come full circle, you know, because I think for me, my uncle is very much like, you know, what your stepdad was, a father figure for me, you know,
a role model.
A role model. And my uncle shaped my life, just like, you know, your stepdad shaped your life. Like when I won Angler of the Year, which was back in 2006, my uncle was traveling with me full time at that point, and it was at Table Rock. And I'll never forget that third day when I got back and I beached a boat, and I had a big limit that day, and you know, there's that anticipation of Kevin was in the hunt. Steve Kennedy was in the hunt. And, you know, I found out they didn't catch him. And theoretically, there was no, you know, I had it won. And that moment of my uncle there, when that happened, you know, because he knew when I was a kid, he inspired this fishing thing for me. And he knew as a teenager, this was a dream, and have all that come full circle and have him there. Dude, I don't know if there's anything more special than that in the world. And I think you have that, you know, especially recording this album, dude, that must have been just surreal to be able to do that. It came full circle for you.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we grew up. There were some lean times, you know, and to grow up and take what my dad taught me, and you know, ever since I was 19 years old, I hit the road and I've never came back. You know, I mean, I haven't taken my grindstone. I'm 30 now, but I've been constantly on tour. You know, I mean, for many years it was 200 gigs a year, and that's not including travel days. So 300, at least 300 days a year. You know, I was gone, and I love it. You know, it's my life. But to be able to take what my dad taught me and then kind of, you know, make a good life for myself. Not only just, you know, I got a roof over my head and, you know, a little bit of stability or something, but I'm saying a good, genuine life that brings me joy, like where I get to do what I love. Man, it's just incredible to do. And so I was burning it up on the highway for so long, for the last, like I said, ever since I've been 19. It flew by so quick, and I started getting kind of scared that I'd never have time to make this record with my dad. You know, he's getting older, and you just, you know, you never know, man. You just never know. And so I really just reached out to my manager one day and was like, we have to make this record. Like, let's just book the time in the studio, you know? And so now, yeah, I've made this record with my dad that I can listen to when I'm 50, 60, 70 years old. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. So cool. So cool. Let me remind you, if you're watching tonight, we've got Billy Strings on. If you've got a question or a comment, please send it through. We've got Eric on the IM board. Eric, what do we got coming through?
I think we're good, Brian. Yeah, we've got some questions, man. So any collaborations coming up? And there's a lot of talk about the AC concerts coming up. Mike, people want to know if you're going to AC. Again, collaborations. What's he working on? Let's hear.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Billy. Collaborations coming up. What do you got? What do you got happening?
Collaborations. I don't know. We just did a thing with Hook, which was pretty cool. Like, we had some shirts that with some trippy, crazy bass with a chatterbait in his mouth and shit.
What?
But
that's cool.
Collaborations, like, I don't know. The folks at Z-Man at one point were talking about trying to, you know, let me design a chatterbait or something, because that's my go-to. You know, that's what I do most of the time, except for in the winter like this. You know, I've been throwing the Alabama rig a bunch, but it's about time for that Ike's Demon DT6.
Ooh. Damn, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Now, here's a collaboration that I want. Me and Billy in the boat where we actually catch a lot of fish. You know, I want that collab. Unfortunately, both times we fished together, we fished shitty South Jersey lakes.
I was going to say, where'd you fish?
Shitty South Jersey lakes, both times.
Yeah. There you have
so
it.
part of it's my fault, but
Mike,
it's all your fault. You made fishing popular down here. And
well, I'm just saying.
These lakes. You're Thanos.
Mike, we ain't going to South Jersey for my trip. I could say.
We're not going to South Jersey. No. But here's the thing. So, Billy, collaboration. Let's collab on me and you fishing in a place that actually has fish. Probably maybe at your house in Nashville somewhere or something, because they're not here.
I don't catch them down here either.
I do want to tell this story real quick. I put you on the spot. You know, the first time we fished together, you know, we had talked through social media and we sort of met each other, you know, just through the phone. And then, you know, we met, and, you know, when you first meet somebody, you know, there's always that, you know, you're feeling each other out. And I've got to fish with a lot of really amazing athletes, celebrities, musicians. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. A lot of them aren't like fish heads, right? They like the fish, but they're not fishermen. And so I remember, like it was yesterday, you know, like the first time we went fishing, you picked up one of my rods, and it was a bait caster, and it had a chatterbait on it. And, you know, you kind of like half looking out back, and dude, you slung that thing out there like the perfect cast, no backlash, just started winding it. And I'm like, thank God. Billy's a fish head. Yes.
Yeah, you're not my snags out, man.
But we will catch fish eventually, I promise.
Hey, Bill, I got a question. What other kind, like what kind of music did you grow up listening to? Like, did you just listen to like country and bluegrass, or did you have other influences?
Well, I listened to a lot of, like, from the time I was born to the time I was about 11 or so. Like, I listened to mostly bluegrass, Doc Watson and stuff like that. And mostly I just listened to music that we played, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, my dad would listen to a lot of bluegrass and stuff. But around the time I was about, you know, 10 or 11, I started getting more into like Jimi Hendrix and the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and, you know, the Doors and stuff like that. You know, I was like I said, I was like this little fifth grader, like, you know, hippie kid. Like it's just, it was weird, I guess, probably for my teachers. Like, who's this kid showing up in, like, you know, the early 2000s, like, you know, looking like John Lennon or some shit. Like, you know, like, it was cool. Some of my teachers, we talk about music, but yeah, around that time I got into, like, you know, classic rock and stuff like that. But that led to, around the time I was about, you know, 11 or 12, 13, I started wanting to play music with people that were my age, you know. Like, I had played bluegrass with like all these old, you know, old folks my whole life, you know. And I wanted to play music with people that were into similar things, like skateboarding and playing video games or whatever the fuck. And so that's how I got into heavy metal and more down that path, because nobody in my school or anything was playing any music except for either jazz band, which was, I went to that for one day and I couldn't hang. But you know, so it was like, you know, I ended up at these metal shows and I hated it at first because the vocalists were just, you know, like, and I'm like, this is terrible. I'm used to like listening to, you know, Blue Moon of Kentucky, keep on shining, you know, like shit like that, and all that. I'm like, you know, this is fucking, I'm like, this is not music, you know, this is like just noise. And something happened over a little period of time. I acquired a taste for it. And there was this one band, they would scream, but then they would also sing a little bit too on the choruses and stuff. It's like, okay, well, I can dig that. And it, you know, it's just like learning how to like beer or something. It was like, you know, at first,
that's genius, dude. That is exactly what metal music is, learning how to like beer.
It is.
That's exactly what metal music is. That's amazing, dude.
It's a great analogy.
Wow, I never thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, it became an obsession, and next thing I know, my acoustic guitar was collecting dust, and I was just off in playing in these metal bands and stuff, you know, 13, 14, 15-year-old kid playing in metal bands and like churches and shit, and, you know, we weren't making money, you know, we were paying to play, and it was just totally out of passion, but it was cool. And, you know,
we got a place next to a little craft brewery next town over from me where the high school kids have a place to go play, and they'll pack it. They'll come from like 30, 40, 50 miles around just to come.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So
that's what
Billy,
it was at a VFW hall.
Billy, I actually used to play guitar. You know, I was jam with my friends and stuff. And, you know, I'm a metalhead. I love some of those metal bands. And you're right, it is acquired taste. You got to really want it. You know what I mean? And then eventually, after listening to it enough, you really begin to love it. So,
like throwing a Carolina rig.
Yeah.
Or fly fishing.
So what was...
Yeah. Spear fishing more.
Or a weightless Senko.
Or a weightless Senko. Yeah.
So
yeah,
what was your...
death metal is definitely more spear fishing.
Yeah. So what was your favorite guitar brand that you played when you were in your metal days?
Oh, that's a good question.
That was Powerbait Paul.
Zeldane.
Well, I got this PRS guitar when I was like young, and I've always loved that guitar. But what I really played was like this. Oh man, Ike, you would have loved it. It's just like your boat. It was like Purple Chameleon. Man,
it's flip flop. Yeah,
I'm gonna grab it so you can see.
Hell yeah! There's Ike approved guitars now. everything.
Of,
Rods,
of course
Okay.
there is.
reels, boats, man thongs, and now guitars.
Let's see this.
This
act.
is crazy.
Teeth whitening strips.
Man thongs?
Check it out.
Whoa!
Oh wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, it's got the purple sheen to it. Hell yeah.
See what I mean? It changed. Like it's kind of blue too, a little bit. You can't
Yeah.
can't really
thing is
see, but yeah, this
badass.
is a. I guess it's a Ibanez something or other. But yeah, I used to play this in the metal band.
What's your
Floyd
Mount,
Rose.
What's your Mount Rushmore of metal bands?
Honestly, like my favorite metal band in general is this band called Cryptopsy. And they're a death metal band from Canada.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cryptopsy.
Paul?
The vocalist's name is Lord Worm. He comes out on stage and he
Lord
eats
Worm.
fucking night crawlers out of a
Kind of a
Yes.
fishing thing.
Yeah.
like a chalice. He has a
Canadian.
chalice. He has a chalice and he fucking eats night crawlers out of it. And
Oh,
he feeds
yes.
people in the crowd.
Oh, this sounds good.
I got them on the. I got it up here, so I will have to check it out on the way home, so I don't lose
Oh,
it.
yes.
Crazy.
Lord Worm.
Yeah. The album that you want to listen to is None So Vile. Or it's probably the album that you don't want to listen to.
Yeah, we used to have some really good stops, like not far from us over in Philadelphia. Some really good venues for a lot of bands that you come through, and bands like you're mentioning it would be like the first band. It'd be like 30 people there,
Yeah,
but
man.
they're all shut down. I guess I
Yeah.
don't know. No one goes and watches live music anymore, metal wise.
There's
It
a
was-
I live in a college town, and 2 blocks down there's one of the houses rented out to college kids. Every weekend there's bands playing in the basement over there.
That's cool.
I almost went and crashed it last weekend.
Ah,
My son ended up in his first mosh pit.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude. Get in a mosh pit with a bunch of like teenagers and beat their ass.
Suck if I end up on the wrong side of it.
I would say, yeah,
Getting old, Bill.
our last pit was probably about 3 years ago. We were about 48.
Nice.
No.
Remember how beat up we were the next day? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, broken
we went and
foot,
seen a machine
Twisted
head.
wrist,
Broken foot.
broken foot, wrist, broken wrist.
Our one
My
buddy
mom-
Bob had
my
like
mom,
internal damage.
What?
Oh,
My
that's
mom
funny.
got her rib broken at a Rob Zombie concert.
Oh yeah.
Like,
All right,
damn.
Billy, I'm checking our Instagram social feed, and we got a question from Steve Pellegrinis. And Steve's question is, Billy, how did you get into fishing?
My dad. Just like bluegrass.
Heck yeah.
So my dad's my stepsister Kelly, she was married to this fella named Travis, and he had a bass tracker, and for some reason he just didn't have somewhere to like park it or something, so he would park it at our house, and my dad was like, yeah, you can park it here if we can use it whenever we want. So we did. And my dad used to take me to this little farm. I'd call it a lake. It's almost a pond, but it's a lake. And it was on this farmer's property, and he has a little donation box on the porch. You put $5 in there or whatever, and little sand ramp, and man, there's lily pads all around it. And so I remember being just 5 years old or something, 5, 6. And my dad threw a frog on there for me. He said, just bounce this around them lily pads and just go play froggy, and he's, sitting there bouncing a Texas rig or a lizard or something, or he liked throwing them pop-bars too on that lake along them lilies. But I remember the first couple blow-ups on that frog, and of course I missed them, but it blew my mind, and after that, and then he goes, okay, just, you're just setting the hook a little bit too fast. Just give him a second, let him take it, and then I started learning how to wait and how to hook them. And I was the frog master, man. I was.
I'm gonna tell Ish Monroe that we have Ish on next, and I'm gonna tell Ish that you're the actual frog master.
No, don't tell him that. nowadays I'm the chatterbait guy. I'll stand on that.
Mm.
That's
People want to
awesome.
know what's your PB. in the
Ooh.
strings. What's your PB bass?
PB.
Go largemouth and smallmouth.
7-pound largemouth.
It's a good one.
But smallmouth, I don't know. I don't even think I've caught one. I've never caught a 5. I've caught a 4, you know, but I've never caught a 5-pound smallie.
There you go, Mike. You got to get him up on Erie.
There you go. That sounds like an Erie special, right there.
I came close. I came close, like up in Michigan. I'm trying to remember where we were fishing. It was like the mouth of the St. Lawrence River, I think, or up there in Sault Ste. Marie. But they get all up in them reeds up there, and they're like football. You know, they grow different. Down here, they're so slim and slender and long. And you know, because I fish mostly on Percy Priest.
Yeah.
Which today, by the way, I got to fish as it was windy as shit, and I got to check out that bass cat on some rough water, and it was like just a world of difference. And yeah, I don't know if we've talked about that yet, but I bought Ike's 22 touring rig from.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Good
Dude,
mojo in that boat.
I'm so happy you have that boat. Like, seriously, like I think I would have probably just gave it to you. Even I would have literally just gave it to you because I'm so happy you have that boat.
Good thing you didn't, dude.
I know.
I've been your friend for how many years?
I know. I know. I didn't give you up. Here's what I want to know, Billy. Like, you fished out of a bass tracker forever, and then to get into that, what is that? What's that like? Because it's been a while for me. Like, I remember my first time, you know, I won my first bass boat, and I remember I was always a John boat guy, and then I won this boat, and I for a week I like slept in the thing. Like I didn't even want to get out of it, you know. But like I remember the feeling of like, you know.
Dude, I had that feeling like today. I was like literally, I was just laying on the deck, and I was just boat. I do. So like today, you know, I'm going to launch the boat, and I'm like, God damn, they're white capping out there, man. You know, it's choppy, and I'm like, well, good, yeah, you know, because the last couple of times I've been out, it was, I mean, first time I took the boat out, it was early in the morning, it was glass, and that was awesome too, to be able to feel the boat on that. But I've been, you know, that's one of my reasons I wanted to get a bigger boat and a glass boat so that I could handle these waves out here better.
Yeah.
You know, what happens is I'm in my bass tracker, I'm cruising along, and I hit a big wave, and I bounce up, and then I come right down, and I just sit right on my balls. and then I'm driving, and I'm like, oh, my balls, and I'm like, oh. You know, and so that didn't happen anymore, man. I was able to just get that nose right into them waves and just fucking monster those things, and yeah, so it's just so much better having a little heavier boat to handle that, but also like for the forward facing sonar, you know, I can actually find my lure, and I can actually see a fish and cast at it, and
it's crazy,
and, you know, without the wind kind of blowing my boat so that I lose everything so fast, you know, like floating like a leaf. You know, this thing kind of stays where it's at so much better. So yeah, it's just incredibly helpful. And having the poles like just at the dock is like so nice.
Dude, I'm so happy for you. I mean, it's not knocking any other bass boat brand, but Bass Cat is honestly, dude, it's solid. Bass Cat is as solid as they come, dude. That's also a solid all-around boat, man. I'm so glad you've got it.
Yeah, me too, man. And like having the rod locker, having all that storage, like I was worried because I thought I had a lot of tackle. Dude, I mean, I could put so much more in there.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's, yeah, just the storage in that thing. And I finally got like all my rods, just like they live in the locker, and it's clean. And, you know, there's not like 10, 13 rods on the casting deck. You know, it's like I can just pull a couple out. You know, like right now, I'm just, like I said, I pull out the jerk bait, I pull out the A-rig, you know, maybe something to bounce around if it's slow, but it's been really slow down here. So,
Yeah.
Billy, do you travel with a lot of tackle in the tour bus?
no, I just got like this, not a lot of tackle, but I do bring some stuff for sure. I bring like a rod or two, and then I got this little hip sack thing.
Yeah, fanny bag. Yeah. We met Aaron Lewis a couple years ago, and he's a big fish head, and he's got a load of tackle in his tour bus.
Yeah, he's got all the Japanese like high-end $1,000 rods and reels and crazy, man.
He's a mega bass guy.
Mega bass, yeah. Crazy.
And swim baits.
Crazy.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Man, I don't throw many. You know, I throw like a little underspin on like just a Kitech or something out here, but I don't know. I've had a little bit of luck on like glide baits and shit, but I don't throw the big softies, you know, like them Texas guys.
As you get older,
yeah,
get salty. That's what Eric told me. I don't know.
True.
Unless you're Dave and you have the blue chews.
Oh, you're hitting home runs, dude.
Blue chews.
Oh yeah,
home runs.
You could catapult a nickel through a window with it if you wanted to.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Oh damn. Like cashew will sit right, kind of
catapult a nickel.
What?
A cashew.
Dude, you could arc throw a peanut across the room with it. If
That's what I'm saying. A cashew will sit better.
Wow.
I'm just saying you could launch.
Wow.
Yes.
Throw.
Damn it.
Yes. Hacky sack.
Pretty potent.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to mention this. I wanted to go back on this real quick. And this is just for, we have a lot of young anglers watching this podcast, watching the show, listening to it.
Oh, that's
and
good.
I'm always harping on this to these young guys, aspiring guys, is the work ethic, is the hustle. And dude, I'm telling you, man, you have it, Billy. You work really hard. You know, I see your tour schedule, but dude, you got to work hard. Like one of the best things during COVID, when like the whole world shut down, you guys were still hustling, right? You guys were still. I remember you were doing concerts and stuff.
Yeah,
you were doing
because Tennessee called bullshit like day one.
No. I know that, but no, you were doing like live broadcast concerts. You were still hustling when everybody else shut down. How important's that been to the growth of your career?
Yeah, that was a strange time for sure. And you know, it was like we were just beginning to have some momentum, you know, and then the rug got pulled out from under us, and it's like, shit, I didn't know. It got me back into fishing. You know, I was on the road for, you know, like I said, when I hit the road when I was 19, I didn't do anything else up until I guess that shit happened. And then, man, it's like, well, what the hell am I going to do? I'm not on the road. So I started fishing again, you know, and it literally started going on my friend's John boat. And then I got a kayak, and then I upgraded to the bass tracker. And, you know, it's like, here I am now. I'm like, I'm still, it really got me back into it in a way. So
that's awesome.
But fuck, what was the question?
You answered it.
There's a million questions here. I got one for you, man. Billy, when you're out there, do you ever like compose music in your head when you're on the water? Do you come up with tunes? Does it inspire you in any way? Like, where do you do your creation outside the studio? When's it happen?
I absolutely do. I stand on the boat and I kind of, you know, I think about things. I have my little notebook with me, you know, and you're just bringing a spinnerbait through the water or something, and your mind goes all these wondering. I'm just thinking, and, you know, especially on those quiet mornings, yeah, I do get a little bit of ideas come out there, but really, I think it does something else. It's like, it doesn't happen on the water, but going on the water charges something inside of me that enables me to write music.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah.
going out and fishing and seeing the blue heron flying over me and you know, seeing the way the sun is reflecting romantically on the water that morning, and there's, you know, there's a little bit of fog laying on the water, and then all of a sudden something hits your jerk bait or something, and it's just it's romantic, you know, and it's that getting that solitude is so good for my soul that then after I am out fishing, then I can come home and I grab my guitar and I have this something to say.
Very cool, man.
It's very freeing. It's like a release, you know. It's very, very freeing.
I like it.
I seem to always come home to nothing but problems. This is broke. Like my soul is still
Dave,
a prisoner.
That's because you don't go fishing, Dave.
Yeah.
Your soul is still a prisoner.
You can go fishing.
Becky repeated it, and then Brian just did. My soul is still a prisoner. That could be a song.
It could be.
I think, Dave, you missed your calling, bro.
I mean, I could write the names of any metal. I've already created about a dozen awesome metal bands, dude. And I'm not going to reveal them.
Where are you going to start, bro? Like, I mean, like, this is your second act in life. Let's go.
No,
come on, man.
This is his final act.
Stormtrooper as a metal band would be so awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's like Brad. Like that's something like a Brit would name a band Stormtrooper. That'd be like a British.
Yeah.
The Brit.
We need
Brit.
some whiskey.
Speaking of Brits, Billy, how was your tour in Europe? I know we talked a little bit about it. How was the experience? You got to go to a couple cool countries?
Yeah, we went all over there, man. We started up in Norway. We went to Denmark and Sweden and Manchester, London, Glasgow, Dublin. It was cool, and sold out shows the whole time, and people screaming for songs that they wanted to hear and singing every word, and it was insane, really. I mean, the schedule was insane too. I was quite literally exhausted, you know, very exhausted, but it was so cool to go over there and just see all that. One of my favorite things about the tour, because I didn't get out much, you know. I wasn't going to see the cathedrals and trying to hunt down Van Gogh paintings and stuff. I was on a tour bus, or I was writing a set list, or I was on stage, and it was that's it. I mean, and any time that I had off, I was trying to get some sleep because I was fucking burned, and so the one cool thing that I did get to take in my travels was just like the stereotypes of the different places. Like, it was so funny, just, you know, because I've never really done that kind of traveling, but you know, I got to Norway, and we walk in this pizza place, and there's this dude with, like, you know, blonde hair but like bangs across and like a crazy like sweater, and he's drinking out of a big old stein, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like so Norway. Look at that.
Yeah.
You know? And then we're on this ferry going over to Ireland, and there's like all these like rough, like young redhead fucking drinking, punching each other.
Soccer hooligans.
Power Bay Paul.
I'm like, dude, they're Irish. Like, they're drinking and they're pushing each other, and they're all rough and tough. And it's like you know, like, this is fucking badass. That people, you know, like, it's just, it was cool to see the different cultures, you know, the different, you know.
It's so true though. Like, when you're touring, like when I'm touring, you know, and Beck, we've done it for years, you know, and people are like, oh my God, you went to California. How was it? Must have been beautiful. And you're like, no, you like fished all day and stayed at a campground and went to sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But all those miles in between, man, behind the wheel, you know.
Yeah. That's a hidden gem. That's a hidden gem for sure. But you know, the other thing I wanted to ask you about is, dude, I all the time, like, I pinch myself a little bit because I have these cool experiences, whether it's the travel, you know, international travel or whatever. And it's all because of fishing. Do you feel like that sometimes, Billy, where like you stop and sit back and look for a second, like all this shit's happening just because like you're doing something you love, you're playing music, you know? Is that sort of strange for me, you know?
Honestly, just like hearing you say that, like I don't even know. I can't even explain how that makes me feel, you know. It blows my mind, really.
Yeah.
It's
I know
like,
we were talking on the boat, and it was funny. You had mentioned we were talking about, I think you were at the Grammys, and it was so cool because I could see it in the way you were talking. You're like, yeah, and I'm sitting like near Beyonce and you know, like all these famous people, and you're just kind of like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, you're looking around, you're like, it feels strange, but it's wild, isn't it?
it's very wild. Yeah. I mean, I never imagined my life would be as good as it is, and I'm very fortunate for everything that I've got, and I've worked hard for it too, like I know you have, and that's one of the
Yeah.
things I like. I don't know. It's like you're a professional angler. I'm a bluegrass musician, but what we do is very similar. I mean, it's very obscure as far as a profession goes. I mean, you gotta,
Yeah.
dude, you've made it work as a fisherman, man. Like, give yourself a pat on the back, dude. That's tough, and but you get to do what you love, and that's another thing about you, Ike. And I want to say this for everybody that's listening, that I have been on a tiny little John boat with Mike Iaconelli.
We have.
And I have watched him hook a bluegill and scream like it was a 10-pounder.
Oh, yeah. That is
yeah.
for South Jersey.
Like, what do we got? Oh, I got one, baby. Oh, yeah. Like, a little fucking pumpkin seed. but that it makes me so happy because I'm like, wow, he truly loves this, and that's awesome, like,
and he's crazy.
yeah, well, that's part of it, but
hats off to the grinders, man.
The
The
Grinders.
grinders, the Bass Pro Tour band, dudes on the road, and musicians. I mean, it's crazy, dude. You guys are road warriors, man. Hats off.
I'll toast to that. Yeah.
Dude, true.
Yeah, Billy, it was awesome when we met the first time, because I felt like there was an instant connection, and it's really cool when you have that, when you meet somebody. And the thing that I love, people, I get approached by people who are like, oh, Billy, oh my God, what's he like? I'm like, it's just a regular dude. You know what I mean? And that's a cool thing, man. And very, very appreciative of your friendship. It's been great.
Hell yeah, man. Likewise. And one of these days it's gonna pay off for me because you put me on some fish.
I'll toast to that, Brian.
Yes.
Billy, we got Brian poured us a couple little whiskeys here or something.
Just stay out of New Jersey, Bill.
Yeah, we got to stay out of South Jersey next time we go fishing. But I will toast to that for sure.
Yeah.
Billy, I can't.
Mike, before you do that,
yeah,
I got one thing I want to go back on.
Oh, hit me.
Right
what do you got?
Bill, you talked about the tracker that you got out on the first time. Your Travis. Did you ever fish with that guy, Travis?
Maybe once or twice, but not really. I think that boat just kind of got dropped off at our house, and then me and my dad would go on it most of the time. But that was basically his son-in-law.
Okay.
So it was like,
did he cast a spinning rod with two hands, almost like a fly rod?
You say what?
Did he cast a spinning rod with two hands, almost like he was casting a fly rod?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we know a Travis that we're pretty sure is.
Is this the same Travis?
Yeah. How would you describe it? He doesn't sleep. He hangs upside down once in a while, but he's pretty sure he's the the undead.
Oh,
Possibly
vampire.
related to Vlad the Impaler.
Probably 1,000 years old.
Oh,
I was just wondering if that's
Perhaps.
it was, he crossed paths with Billy. This is what he's here for.
could be.
Yeah.
Huh.
I didn't follow all this.
I feel like I just read one paragraph in the middle of a book and then being asked to understand it.
Hey, enlighten everybody. I'm working on half a brain today. Last night was smoked my brain last night.
What do you mean you don't know the book?
What the hell are we talking about? Well, that way. That was interesting.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
fair enough. It made sense in my mind.
I couldn't think of a better way to end this interview than totally confuse our
They're
audience.
completely making him regret wasting his.
Yeah.
The YouTube audience understands,
Yeah.
but I get it.
Okay.
He would have rather watched like my 500-pound world of life than been on this podcast.
I'm so fucking confused at this point.
Oh my god.
Was that like a Count Chocula
Turkey hit me
reference?
up.
God, man. When I lower my hat, I'm in trouble.
I'll listen back and see where I missed my mark.
Mark it.
It was probably me. It was probably me, honestly.
No.
No, it was definitely not.
Yeah, definitely
It
not.
was definitely Brian.
It was an inside thing. I left him hanging. I was supposed to be his wingman tonight. I am fired.
Oh man,
It made sense to me.
You look.
That made sense to me, bro.
That's great.
I like it when we get Brian at this point because it almost looks like he's asking for 1990 Pam Anderson's phone number. You know what I mean?
The sweating,
Yeah.
and the hands on the
I'm sweating
armpits,
for him right now, man.
just rocking back and forth.
Oh.
Billy, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show tonight, man. It was so awesome, and I cannot wait for our next fishing adventure. As long as it's outside of South Jersey, I cannot wait for our next fishing adventure. I know it's going to be good. So thank you for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Ike. And yeah, man, let me know if you're around Nashville or something. We'll go fish around here too.
That's a plan. And enjoy that boat. Keep sending me pictures and videos because I love them.
Yeah, well, we're loving it, man. Appreciate you.
Billy, you coming to Knoxville for the Classic?
Oh,
I'm planning on it. Yeah.
heck yeah.
Man.
I'll be there.
Totally redeem myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll explain later in detail.
Yeah. Here's what we can do. I got a perfect idea. We'll wait till the first day of competition. We'll find out who's leading. We'll get the coordinates and we'll go beat that spot during the afternoon before they come back the next day.
Yeah.
It sounds great.
I almost would rather hear Brian explain his joke than that right there.
Wasn't a joke.
That was actually a joke.
You were literally just complaining about guys doing that.
No, I'm
just
kidding.
a
I'm
few
not
shows
gonna
ago.
do that.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't do it. That was a joke. Definitely text me though, Billy, if you're at the Classic. We'll figure something out for sure. But thank you for coming on the show. Billy Strings, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Billy.
See y'all, man.
Right on, man.
Wow.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm so happy he got that bass cat. You know what I
That is
mean?
cool, man.
It's so cool
Very.
to see him in that boat. And he's been sending me a lot of pictures and videos, and he's
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoying it. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
It's
Does he have big lakes around where he lives?
Percy Priest is a pretty big one,
Yeah.
and then he's got Old Hickories right there.
Oh, wow.
All the Tennessee River lakes are not far from where he's
Percy.
at.
I never heard of Percy Priest.
Dude, Percy Priest, in the history of smallmouth fishing, it's probably the most important lake ever.
Really?
Yeah. So
And
like
southern
the
smallmouth. lakes.
southern smallmouth. So
Yeah.
Tony
Count Dracula would have something to say.
Cal
about that.
Dracula would, but
Mhm.
Tony Bean, if you remember Tony Bean is
Mhm.
one of the,
Oh yeah.
dude, he's a forefather of finesse fishing.
Right on.
Percy Priest is his home fishery. The float and fly technique
Oh, wow.
was
there.
born out of Percy Priest. So, a lot of really cool techniques.
Well, the entire
Interesting.
North is offended by that.
Well, I'm probably
because
right.
Smallmouth belong to the North.
Smallmouth belongs to the north, but Percy Priest is a smallmouth fishery. So,
Fair enough.
but so cool to see him running that boat. I couldn't be happier.
But they could
for
say
him,
the
but-
same thing about bluegrass. Like, why don't you New Jersey people stay home, cut each other off on the roads and don't come to our music. Right?
Hey, Dave, write that down. Percy Priest, heavy metal band number 28.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the names. That would work.
Percy Priest.
Would work.
Be a good one, man.
That would work. That would work. Let me remind everybody, you're watching a brand new Ike Live. We just had Billy Strings on. Such a cool cat, man. Really good guy, too. And Paul, he can actually fish, which is awesome. We got another cool guest coming up. We got Ish Monroe coming up. Probably about 10 minutes. We're going to track him down, Brian Carpenter. I think Ish is driving back from a tournament. So I don't know if he's going to pull over. Is he going to drive and talk? I don't know what we're.
Oh, this sounds cool. It's going to be great.
It could. Well, last time he wasn't he getting in a limo last time and he hung up on us?
Yeah. He gave us between brushing his teeth and combing his hair to be on the show.
Right. And then he got in a limo.
Yeah.
And then the feed was cut out.
What did he get? Hair plugs?
Yeah.
Nah.
He said combing his hair.
Nah, he grew it out. He had.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He had it grown out.
You haven't
at
seen
that point.
you're
What?
You're
Yeah,
disconnected.
Yeah, of course I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he's got full head of hair.
Yeah.
man.
But we're going to catch up with Ish. It's going to be really good. And then a little later, Paul, don't forget, we're going to be doing an unboxing. I don't know if you knew this, but we are the only live fishing podcast that does an MTB unboxing.
It hasn't slipped in my mind yet.
Right. So we're going to be opening up one of those boxes, but
Paul's
going to
jump out of one.
Yeah. Beck, you want to come sit on the couch for this next segment and catch up with Ashama? Oh,
She said yes, everybody.
okay.
Hey,
Yeah, let's take a commercial.
Yeah.
Right, let's take a break.
She actually went South Jersey and said, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Your mom would be horrified.
She's shedding her Richmond roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Benson.
going to get a water and sit on the couch.
Yo, Benson's watching right now, and he's horrified.
Paul Benson.
He's aghast. No, her old butler.
The butler.
Paul Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Benson, the butler.
Horrid language.
All right, bye. Let's take a little break. We'll come
Hit
back.
this
All right,
button
hang
right
in there
here.
with us. We come back. We got some more Ike Live. for
Such
you.
ghastly vernacular.
You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water. You know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes. But they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have an experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
It'd be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation. Ecology, you know, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us.
Yeah.
We're proud of it.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, Go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy.
You folks, information is pouring over. If you want to learn more about every lake, how to fish, shallow, deep, in between, skipping docks and rocks and cranking, slow wiggling, chatter, smattering, you get it at Bass U. Get on Bass U TV, check it out, sign up, be a member, be part of it, folks. Keep learning.
That might have been on my head. Because I came back from my break and I had my headphones there, and then there were like two of them just sitting right
Dave
there.
had his headphones
Oh,
on.
no.
So you might have had mine on.
Backwards.
Hello?
The big
Hello?
ones.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody.
Like a
You're
weightlifting
watching
belt.
a brand new Ike Live. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. I know we are. We got a great crew tonight. And here's the good news, Beck. We just had on Billy Strings. Billy's a cool cat, man. Really cool having him on the podcast for the first time. And in a little bit here, we're going to be catching up with an old friend, Ish Monroe. So
But now for something different.
very, very excited. Why have you here real quick, Beck? We surveyed before you were here, and we talked about last night, and we unanimously decided that on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the best, last night got an 8.5.
Wow.
And the reason it didn't get higher is because Dave wasn't there.
That's true.
Yeah.
We did miss you.
Yeah, but it was a good
I
night.
know, I'm
It was
sorry.
a great night. Would you agree?
It was a great night. I think
Okay. Okay.
I think adding the casino gaming tables.
That was fun. That was fun.
like a fun added.
Yeah. Eric,
piece.
Brian, did you guys gamble a little bit last night?
No gambling, man. I went all in on the swim baits.
Mm.
The only time
All
I
in,
gamble is when I
heavy.
eat outside.
Is no one going to comment how awesome his voice is? Like, am I the only one realizing that he sounds like a goddamn
Yeah.
professional broadcaster?
Oh,
Eric?
Yeah, he has a great
Yeah.
Oh,
radio
yeah, he
voice.
does.
Oh,
He
yeah.
does.
Come on now.
He does. Well, here's the thing.
I mean, it's like you calling a baseball game. Like,
I know, but here-
John Cook to the.
But
you
here's
know, like-
here's the thing, the evolution of like podcasting and all that. And so, I'm so happy we had a 10-year fucking run. That's amazing. The memories, just dude, it was the best 10 years of Ike Live as a podcast ever. But we suck. And now that podcasting is popular,
Well,
there's
fishing took
so
10
many
years to catch up with.
I know, but
everybody
but I'm
else.
just saying,
Yeah.
like, Eric, you're meant for podcasting. You have a radio voice. Like,
It's meant for talking. Just
yeah,
saying
we were
words.
never like that.
Thank
That,
you.
but maybe that's why people appreciated the show, because we fucking sucked. We're just a bunch of scrubs drinking beer. Maybe there's something to that. That's why it was so successful.
The shows you guys did were like epic. I mean, just early days, that early studio, there was that dynamic. I mean, there was nothing like it out there.
Yeah.
You laid the foundation for everybody doing it today.
Yeah.
Like,
No
his
question.
voice
there was-
right now is equivalent to like a prime David Hasselhoff. You know what I mean? Like
a hot, handsome,
yeah, hot, buff, handsome,
Mitch.
David
shirtless,
Hasselhoff.
driving kit, David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Eric, I would agree with that.
You could do those
Uh,
romance novel reads.
He could.
You know
Yeah.
what? I
And
need
kill
a
it.
second act
But-
in my life. I'm
Yeah.
gonna apply right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, Brian. I want to
And-
tell you this.
And on the other side,
No, I want to tell you this.
and
Dude,
completely
And
opposite.
I'll
of
throw this to Paul
excellence.
too. I'll throw this to Paul
Brian.
too. No, you ever like you have your favorite band or whatever, right?
Or a
You know-
shoe that's one size too small.
or shoe. But I was thinking more like a band, right? You have your favorite band, and you love their music, and like the band goes away, right? Like that's
Right.
just inevitable. Like
It
very
is.
few bands stay together forever. Rolling Stones, a few do, but you have this band, you love the fucking band,
Yeah.
but something happens and it's no more. And I always would think about that, like why the fuck aren't these guys still around? Like why do but it's just it
Yeah.
happens.
Yep.
Like when stuff is prime and key and it's the most amazing, it's happening, you don't realize it, but things run their course, And I'm not saying Ike Live's run its course, but those early days of Ike Live,
Oh,
the
yeah.
podcast, it was special. And
Sure.
we didn't even know what the hell was happening.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was happening, and it was
Really?
happening.
Well,
It
and
was
there,
in
were
the
no,
know.
there was no rules. Like,
There was no rules,
We could
yeah.
do whatever we wanted.
Yeah, it was
Now-
before cancel culture.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh!
Yeah.
Now we can't. We
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
We
It's a
have to be
different world.
So careful. Hey, remember that one time that Brian tried to bring the high school team on?
Oh, yeah. They
And-
canceled
and
on
they-
us.
Yeah, because you were f-bombing and hip thrusting up in
Oh,
the air.
yeah.
It wasn't even.
I was doing the I was just air humping a
It
little
was a
bit.
Sunday night. The guy was like drove, 30 miles from his home to the school. He had the team,
Right.
the whole.
He had them all
but it
queued
was
up.
a Christian
college, yeah.
Christian
Yeah,
high school.
I mean,
and
we
you came off the road and you were all fired up,
Yeah.
all backed up.
Yeah.
You were talking about you were air humping. And,
I was air humping, but I mean that's
it's a lot
not
of air humping.
I mean that's just that's
lot
not.
of-
Yeah, but
It's
it
not
was
what?
great. No, I'm not saying. I don't know.
He
No,
protected
air
the
humping's
children.
good.
No,
Yeah.
answer to Becky's question.
Okay. What was the question?
Could you please repeat the
I
question?
don't think I had a question.
I don't have a question. All right. I'm so excited.
Wait, but we
yeah.
didn't-
Oh, what are you? I was going to get Ish on. What?
Did you guys talk about the foundation?
We did. We talked a lot about it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we had
We did?
a great night, and I haven't gotten the numbers yet. We'll have them early
Yeah.
this week
Yeah,
about
and that's
what
the-
we have for the scholarship
Right.
based off of.
That's the thing. So it's an amazing night of camaraderie and fun and, all that. But the goal is to raise money for scholarship, right? For
Correct.
kids, for
Yeah.
high school graduating seniors
Yes.
that have an interest in fishing the outdoors. So the goal is to raise money for that. Dude, the one fact that was on our note sheet last night that blew me away is almost $80,000 we've raised in the last few years doing that scholarship dinner. Dude, that's a lot of money, dude.
Wow.
That's crazy. So there's a good chance that we'll surpass $100,000 after this event. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And so if anyone knows of a high school senior or is a high school senior watching and
That high school group in Texas, if you're watching,
they've like graduated college.
Well,
We've been
if
doing
they're
this for 10 years, like
well,
they're married and have kids.
They're younger siblings.
Right.
are watching.
Head to the ikefoundation.org and definitely fill out the scholarship application if you're heading off to college. You've given back through the outdoors, done something through fishing or the outdoors, definitely fill out that. Actually, you don't even have to. I mean, you have to have a connection with the outdoors. Yeah.
Yeah, have to have connection with the outdoors. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we've got our youth tournament trail coming up again this year.
Heck yeah.
The
Big
Pro-Am
stuff.
is June 6th.
6th.
We'll have the kayak event in the fall. Got a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of cool stuff.
We have a kayak event winner in house who's never been on the show. Might even talk to him later.
Oh yeah, we will. We are going to talk to Jake a little later. We're going to get him on. All right, but in the meantime, I want to get on to our second guest because I know he's waiting in the queue. I cannot wait to catch up with him. It's been a minute since he's been on the show. Joining us now, we're going to find out where he's at. I don't know if he's at a rest stop, he's at home, he's on the highway. I don't know where the hell he's at. Our good friend, Ish Monroe, joining us here on Night Live. Ish! Shabo!
What up?
All right.
Can you hear me now?
All right, looks like you're in the car, pulled over somewhere, or you're driving.
Negative. That's a negative. I got the hands-free mode going. Phone sitting in the hands-free deal. Rolling.
Yes, I like it. All right, Ish. Where were you at? What was the Derby? What was the league? Tell me, give us the details on all this.
Well, I was fishing Wild West Bass Trail, Pro-Am on Lake Shasta, and I got my butt stomped. Usually, if you catch 10 pounds a day, you make the top 10. Well, I caught 10 pounds a day and didn't even come close to making the top 10.
Ooh.
So I got my butt stomped.
Okay. So that means does that mean you fished bad or Shasta's fishing good?
Shasta's fishing great.
Okay.
We saw bags in the ranges of 14, 15 pounds, which normally
Wow.
doesn't happen on Shasta.
Why
A guy
is that?
catches, we got an influx of flooding that happened about 3 weeks ago. And it took all the shad that were in the middle of the lake in 150 feet of water and put them in 15 to 40 feet of water.
Wow.
And the bass are gorging on them.
Wow.
And it's the bite's not stupid wide open, but it's pretty good. Yesterday I caught over 20 keepers. Today I had about 15, 18 bites, but I only caught 5 keepers today.
Wow.
Pressure was on. But Mike, you would have been proud of me. I had 3 spinning rods on my deck.
What? Oh my
3.
God, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I'm coming.
1, 2, 3. Yes.
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
I know you are. I figured. I was trying to make you proud.
Can I tell you the funny thing about watching Ish on that screen is you like look like you're dancing the way like you're like
It's the road. It's the road. It's the road. It's the road.
He's at the club.
Man, California have paved roads.
Yeah, well, Shasta's in the middle of nowhere. He's on a dirt road coming back.
Like
you remember, it's like just like that. Just like that.
All right, Ish.
The old days.
Ish, give us an update on. You mentioned the rain. I talked to you last week. I called to check in on you because every time I watched the damn news, California was falling into the ocean because all the water. Give us an update.
Which is great.
How's everything?
So right now we were in drought. We were in major drought conditions. And when I say major drought conditions, we had lakes that were at 30%, and which means that there was not a lot of water. And all of a sudden, we get the 100-year storm that seems to happen about every 4 years. And every lake in California, the fish have turned on. I had a friend that fished a different tournament today on Clear Lake. And he was in the second flight out of, I believe, 5 flights. He had 25 pounds and was in 7th place.
Wow.
And he caught them out of 3 to 5 feet of water on a jerkbait. He says the fishing's unbelievable and they're all big.
Wow.
So we've got lakes full of water. What's that?
What are the lake levels now because of the rain?
Lake levels are averaging 70 to 90%.
Okay, that's good.
Wow.
I mean, Shasta's come up over 100 feet.
Holy hell.
Wow.
So you're talking, and Shasta's one of the biggest lakes, if it's not the biggest lake in California. I think they consider Tahoe part of California, so that's the biggest lake. But I think Shasta is definitely in the top 3 of lake sizes in California. And for it to come up over 100 feet, I fished a tournament about a month ago, and the parking lot that I launched at is completely submerged.
Wow.
Underneath the water.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Good.
And the Delta's got flood tides going on. They've closed a bunch of lakes because there's just so much water and debris. But it's a really, really great thing. We needed a cleansing, and a lot of that rain, you know.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Helped out.
That's crazy. Ish, a lot of people watching right now, they want to know, how's your off season been? You know, you got a little bit of a break. You'd like to saltwater fish. I know that, but I think a lot of our listeners don't know that. How's your off season been? How's the saltwater fishing been? Give us an update.
Saltwater fishing has been phenomenal. My fiance caught a 275 bluefin. I caught a 290. I'm sorry, yellowfin.
Hold on. 275, 275 pounds.
You totally slimmed down. You
all by yourself.
No, I know I did, but I'm going to get back to that.
Okay.
275 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And I had a 293.
Wow.
And she actually broke one off the day before that. We don't know how big that one was.
Damn.
And
Wow.
it broke a 100-pound test. It broke a 100-pound test.
That's crazy.
Me and you pulling in a tug of war can't break 100-pound tests.
Yeah.
She broke 100-pound test.
Yeah, tuna's a different animal though, dude.
Now, Ish, are you selling them or are you releasing?
No,
them?
no. Eat, catch and eat. Sushi
So you
for
have-
days. Poke bowls.
Yeah, I mean, how much meat do you get out of a 300-pound tuna?
You get about a third of that is meat. So we roughly had, a couple 100 pounds of chunks of tuna, and we've made multiple people happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody, hey, like it was like Oprah. Everybody gets tuna. You get tuna. You get tuna. You get tuna. And you get tuna.
Beck wants some tuna.
I want some tuna.
I will send tuna. I gotta go get some dry ice. Charles has gotten tuna.
Oh,
Charles gets tuna. I don't get.
You don't get tuna. Charles gets tuna. You don't get tuna.
Well, me and Charles talk probably at least once a week, and so he was like, "Hey, can you send me some tuna?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "Can you send me some back straps?" And he sent some back straps. So we kind of traded.
Oh, it was quid pro quo.
Yeah, trade. It's a little trade off.
Yeah.
All right, now here's the thing.
I mean, here's the deal. I'll make a deal with you guys. You guys send the kids, and I'll send you tuna.
Whoa, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to get rid of them little bastards
You're
anyway.
requesting kids?
Yeah, take them little bastards.
Still in Vegas. Gosh. Just hot off the kid.
They love him some Uncle Ish.
I figured Becky would send me like a cucumber aloe rub.
Cucumber salad.
Yeah, cucumber aloe facial cleanse for some tuna.
That's a bad trade. That's a bad trade.
I'm not a huge cucumber fan. I do like aloe.
All right. Now, Ish, I've seen this on videos.
I know what my children.
I've seen this on videos where you catch a giant tuna out there, you pluck the fucking eyeball out of it, eat the eyeball. What? Have you? Yeah, I've seen this.
No, it's the heart. It's the heart. It's the
what
heart.
About the eyeball?
No, you don't eat the eyeball. You eat the heart. You eat the heart. You eat the heart if it's your first tuna.
Dang.
The deal is when you catch your first tuna, you're supposed to eat the heart, and it's literally pumping as you're cutting it out of the tuna, and you just take a bite out of it.
Wow.
How big is it, Ish?
Well, it depends on the size tuna, which is your first tuna. Some people's first tuna is a 20-pounder. Some people's first tuna is a 200-pounder.
Wait. Did you do this?
Wait.
No, not on this trip, but we have when we caught our first tuna, and I caught my first one.
Man, I never heard
What
of that.
does a tuna heart taste like?
Heart?
Just get Travis on.
Not like heart, like it's not very tasty. It's you usually go for it and you take a beer. You take a bite and then you grab a beer.
Yeah.
And you chug a beer to get rid of the taste.
Tastes a lot like human heart.
So that's there's the good part. There's the good part about eating the heart. You get to chug a beer.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I did live goldfish in college. You just drink the beer.
Yeah.
You ate a goldfish in college.
No one else.
Was that part of sorority?
No.
They didn't let any animals near the special education room when I was in high school.
Only sawdust.
We had no access to anything alive other than each other.
Dave had each other and sawdust. Nothing else.
Best I've done was a live night crawler.
All right, now Ish, Beck caught this earlier in the conversation, and I have to circle back on it. I want you to. If it's up to you, if you want, this is Ike Live, so you talk about what you want to talk about.
He said it.
I know he said it. Well, that's why I'm circling back.
What? It's not a secret, gosh.
Right.
You guys knew,
but
the fans don't really know.
Well, a lot of people probably don't know, but you said your fiance, so
yes,
you're officially engaged.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yay. Well,
right.
You guys knew. I mean, you knew when I was in the process.
Yeah. What everyone doesn't know.
And Becky was so happy.
Yes.
Now she just wants caramel colored babies.
I know, please.
Go.
Have babies.
Okay. No. Caramel colored babies.
That explains the bouncing around. You're making a run for Mexico, aren't you? You realize you made a mistake.
I don't know about you married guys, but I'm happy, dang it. Leave me alone. And Mike's happy. I know Mike's happy.
He said that. He said it. I could narrate that romantically.
From his romantic decision.
And then he saw her. Their eyes locked for a moment.
Wow.
So now I do have a question. You guys said that you could say anything before on Ike Live, and now you can't. But Mike dropped an F-bomb earlier.
I did. I did. No,
I feel like that's the only thing that became more lenient. Cursing almost became more acceptable, but our inappropriate conversations are unacceptable now.
Oh yeah.
How about the time you guys didn't turn the camera off and got drunk.
Well, we did that a lot.
Well,
in the early days.
When you say
Okay,
you
well,
guys,
I
you
guess-
mean-
I mean, the crew.
After hours.
But Ish, when
That was the after hour.
Ish, when a dude's drunk and he's driving his buddies and they crash, they don't ask all the buddies, "Hey, remember the time you were all drunk driving?" They're like, "No, remember the time Chet fucking crashed you guys?"
Chet.
Well, like, so yeah, we have one guy that leaves the mics on.
Yeah.
Yeah, one guy. It was one guy.
Fall guy.
Oh my god.
The fall guy. The one fall guy. Who's the fall guy?
Yeah.
Ish, was there a particular time you had in mind?
I was just thinking about the first time because I remember it's like, oh, we forgot to turn and everything off, but we drank
Yeah.
a lot.
That happened a few
We
times.
actually had this
Yeah.
conversation during
happened
the
a few
commercial
times.
break.
We
The
did.
times that the mics weren't shut off during
Oh,
commercial
yeah.
breaks and things that were said.
Oh,
I remember one of the early shows, and I look back and like that we had no cell service down there, so shit would like take a lot of
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, my phone blows up after the fact. Messages from Mark Jeffries like, "Shut the mics off. Shut the mics off.
Shut the mics off.
Shut the fucking mics off.
Shut the mics off. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Ish, it's hard to believe
Oops.
10 years has went past with this amazingly dumb podcast.
I would have never even thought it's been 10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we've known each other for over 20.
Over 20. Yeah.
We're old.
Crazy. We're old.
Vegas,
We are old.
Vegas and Stella will be graduating from high school here like tomorrow.
Right. You know what? I took a picture of Ish and Stelly sitting on the couch in the old studio together.
Oh,
because
did
she
ya?
just wanted to hang
Oh.
out with Ish when he was on like live.
Yeah.
And she has like her little mic on. She was like
Oh,
maybe
that's
two.
cute.
Yeah.
That's super
Good times. Good times.
cute. Well, this is a great segue, Ish. Time flies. Time changes. You know, I had to ask you about this. Big decision this year. You're changing up a little bit. Leaving the Bass Pro Tour.
Yes, I did change my. I did. Oh, I thought you were talking about my underwear or something. I
No,
did change.
no. We're talking about
Just like
tours.
Okay.
Leaving the Bass Pro Tour, deciding to leave BPT, heading back to the elites, fishing all 9 opens. Big decision, man. Talk a little bit about that.
Huge decision, actually. I mean, are we doing the politically correct? Or are we doing the let it all out? Are we doing the in between?
We're doing the
Or
Ike
what-
Live version, which is speak your mind.
Burn it to the
Oh
ground.
man,
Scorched earth ish.
what? Scorched earth. It's definitely scorched. Just feel like I'm going back to bass. That's where my heart is. Better place to be. Where my career is. My sponsors are 110% on board. You know, there are too many changes for me. I'm a pretty consistent guy. I like consistency. Catching 5 bass, weighing 5 in, having the fans. That is all hugely important. And, you know, it was said a long time ago, without fans, there is no sport. And bass offers the closest thing to getting to the fans and the fans getting to us. And so that's where I've got to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it always I will agree with you on that one. It always felt a little empty for me at MLF with you know the fact that there wasn't that interaction. You know what I mean? There wasn't the interaction with living, breathing fans.
You guys were cam girls and you're not strippers in the strip club with interaction.
Hey, whoa! That I was not. That strip club was not me.
You were a cam girl.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, cam girls probably feel as lonely as you guys did versus girls that are actually working the clubs. All I'm trying to say.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's you know, and here's the deal: is I've worked a couple shows this year, and the word is out, and it's pretty interesting to see how many fans are excited for me to go back to the Opens.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about the level of getting to the elites. We're not even talking about being on the elites. They're excited about Opens, and that has to say something.
Yeah.
You know, the Opens, I mean, they're calling them the elite qualifiers now. They've got great programming for it. I mean, they're doing so much. It's almost like the old days of bass coming back when the invitationals at bass were a huge deal. Now the elite qualifiers are going to be a huge deal, and there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on that, which is great because, once again, the sponsors need the fans, and the fans need the sponsors, the anglers need the sponsors, and then we need the eyeballs.
Yeah.
And the eyeballs are hugely important, and so they're going to do a great job. They've already started with some stuff, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. You know, our first tournament starts here the first week of March at Eufaula. We're going to have 200 plus boats on the lake, but it's still going to fish good. And all the events, we're going to Eufaula, Alabama, Eufaula, Oklahoma, a place I've never been to before. Get to go up and see Johnny Cruz. I'll be up in his neck of the woods, you know, at Bugs Island. Super excited. Always wanted to fish there. Just going to a lot of places that, you know, it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. I can relate to what you're doing because, you know, everything you're talking about is what I did a few years ago. So I can totally understand what you're saying.
And I wish I would have went. I wish I would have went when you went.
Yeah.
I honestly do. Because once again, we would have been rooming again. You know, we're trying to bring the band back together. The band.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Johnny and Beck. The band.
Bring the band back from the dead.
The band back.
We need it.
Yes.
Any regrets at all at this very moment about leaving Bass Pro Tour?
Leaving the United States.
Zero
regrets.
Zero.
Okay.
Because everything that has happened since the announcement has all been positive.
Right.
You know, there was not one single sponsor that was like, oh, well, I don't know about this, or, oh, well, we're going to have to make some changes with your deal. It was, yes, please.
Yeah.
Thank you for going. We really are excited. You're going to have a great time. You're going to do a great job for us. And, hey, how about a little bump in your contract here? And we're talking about fishing opens.
Right. Right.
You know? And at the end of the day, it's about the money. Show me the money.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's other Bass Pro Tours anglers listening live right now, and there's probably a few, if there's other Bass Pro Tour anglers that are going to listen to this podcast down the road in a few weeks, months, anything you would say to them about their career and their future?
Do what your heart tells you.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take the gamble, you know, and I can't really say it's a huge gamble, but once again, if you don't believe in yourself to go out and be good enough to re-qualify or qualify for the elites, then you probably should not be fishing tournaments in general.
Right.
You know, I right now looked at the schedule, have 100% confidence in myself. My sponsors have 100% confidence in me, you know, re-qualifying for the elites. And so it's just do what your heart tells you and don't be scared.
Yeah.
So Ish, in your opinion, where did things go south with MLF and what made you want to move back over to Bass?
You really want that answer? Do you really want the answer?
Yeah, Paul wants it. Paul wants the answer.
I mean, does everybody want this? Because there will be controversy.
Paul wants it.
Let's go.
Honestly, in my opinion, my change was the cheating.
Yeah.
Stop
the cheating that was allowed to happen. The public saw it. Everybody saw the snagging of fish. Everybody saw the soliciting of information. And what happened to those guys? Nothing other than a small fine and, oh, we're going to disqualify you that day. And that only happened because it went public.
Right.
That's right.
That was the biggest change for me.
Wow.
And I know there's going to be some people mad at what I said, but it's the truth. And you can't be mad at me for the truth.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't watch the Lake Fork tournament, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you watched it, you have 100% know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And if you were on social media last July, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the text messages.
Right. Now, see, that example was brought to the public.
Right.
But there's been other examples before that where the same thing happened. Right.
Yeah. Right. And here's my deal. I get it. People make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I've been disqualified from an event for mistakes. Lake, maybe I shouldn't have. But we all make mistakes. We're human. I get it.
Yeah.
But the blatant disregard and disrespect for the anglers that you're fishing against and the league not doing what is right, I can't give up. And that's me. And
yeah.
As everybody goes quiet.
El Segundo. That's why we're losing.
El Segundo.
Yeah. I wonder why. Yeah, no, I was just saying, Ish, I wonder why the league didn't, like, what was their motive to not, enforce that, to not pursue?
Sounds like a lack of integrity on
They hoped it would go away. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this? I've got another. We can ask that question, but we'll add to that question and go. Let's just take example that the league was supposed to be about the anglers. It was built for the anglers, by anglers, for the anglers. Well, let's look at heavy hitters. This last year, I finished third in the event. Catching them on a frog in bushes, some of the best bites we've ever had. And they cut me completely out of the show.
Wow. That's dirty.
Wow.
Exactly. So how can I be a part of that?
Yeah.
I was once again, I left. I was very, politically correct in my answers. And yet after I do all this, you want to slap me in the face by cutting me out of the TV show? Well, that's my career you're talking about. You're messing with my money. You're messing with my sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yet I get zero airtime. So how can I respect that? I can't respect that, and I can't respect the cheating. So very easy decision to make.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Ish, I don't think you said anything controversial. Now, if you want to be controversial, why don't you expand on
people are going to take it. But people are going to take it as, oh, well, he's whining and he's complaining. But it's really once again, who would want to, people have told me that there's cheating going on in every form of fashion, from baseball, basketball, and football. I get it. But the leagues will do something about it if there is cheating.
Yeah.
Unless you're Tom Brady and you deflate footballs, but that's okay.
Oh, man. Thank you for saying that, Ish.
That's called a tactic. That's not cheating.
Well, plus his wife's a witch.
There we go. It's not in the rule. Hey, actually, you're right. It's not in the rules. The NFL handbook says,
his dark materials.
Man,
look at
but hey, how about this? He is, regardless of everything you want to say, he's still the greatest.
Yeah. I mean, no one's even close.
As everybody gets quiet again.
Yeah.
No, right.
We're not. You're cutting in and out, Ish.
Yeah. No, we heard you. He is the best. He's the greatest. Let me remind you, you're watching a brand new Ike Live show tonight. We've got the one and only Ish Monroe on. Woo. He's traveling to El Segundo tonight.
That's right.
If you've got a question or comment for Ish, please send it through.
I left my wallet.
Put it through.
And he's going to tell his fiance, I left my wallet in El Segundo.
That's a great Tribe Called Quest song.
One of the best, dude.
That is an amazing Tribe Called Quest song. I just heard it the other day too.
It's a great song. It's a fucking great song.
Ish, I got a fishing question for you. It's back to tuna.
Tuna.
Yes.
Will they eat
Tuna.
a frog if you get them in a frenzy? Could you hook a tuna if you teased them up?
You probably could, but you'd have to figure out a way to change the hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to see that.
You'd have to have Magnum, like 30-aught.
Yeah.
Vanadium
Yeah.
steel.
Four 444X grade meat hanger hooks on
Dude,
it.
if you want a YouTube video to go viral, that's the YouTube video,
Ish,
dude.
Let's do it.
Ish, this is your calling.
We're going to start up the forge out back and fashion the hooks out of old steel.
I'm in.
Yeah. No, I can see it. The pounding of the hammer.
It is.
I'm in.
Ching, the fire coming off of it.
Yeah, right in the backyard. You got it.
It's going to be like when Sauron started up the orcs making the, yeah, dude, the fire.
Yes.
Instead of Brian the carpenter, he got Brian the blacksmith.
Brian the blacksmith. is
Brian the blacksmith.
We got a melting pot of old like plastics, man. We're pouring
Yeah.
Senko material into it. It's coming.
Hey,
broken like
Ish, I got a question. When you finally do get to like establish the old crew, the A-team back in Bass, do you think the young guys are going to actually look at you guys the way like real soldiers look at the real A-team from the TV show? Like, are they going to see you guys and be like, look at these old ass motherfuckers?
You know what? I'm going to look in their eyes and I'm going to see fear. Because
There you go.
hey, it's the same. It's just like the question about LeBron James and Michael Jordan, who is the greatest. And if anybody says LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, they need to be taken out back and beaten. Because MJ.
Have you seen B.A. Baracus lately? Nobody's afraid of him, dude.
Well, that's him. That's it. But I guarantee you, you ask any player that played against MJ, they're afraid.
Yeah, I mean,
and they should be afraid. Yeah. Except for I'm gonna put my foot in both Johnny and Mike's butt to get their stuff together and start winning some damn tournaments.
I know. I sucked last year. I couldn't catch a bass.
Yeah.
In my life.
Like, gosh. Come on now. Dang it. No. Don't get soft on me.
No, I know.
Seeing some of these old guys.
That MLF format threw you off, Mike? I mean, coming and going back to the fish or ish. What do you think about that?
I think
Mike has figured it out, and he's back off to a great start. He's back to fishing with Uncle Don.
Hell yeah.
The Uncle Don, the roots. Uncle Don showed us the way back in the day.
He did.
Talk about that.
The Don. Oh, dude, it was
Uncle Don.
Oh yeah.
Oh, legendary.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike would literally be out there practicing from daylight to dark, drag Uncle Don out there. Uncle Don would sit out in the back, throw that dang Cinco out there, and waylay him, and Mike would end up winning the tournament on a damn Cinco.
Shout out to Uncle Don.
I thought it was
shout out to Uncle Don. Yes.
The Don.
Uncle Don. Yes.
The Don rig.
That's what we need to do. The Ike Live old school. Get all the whole crew. Johnny, Uncle Don.
That'd be a good show.
Swizzling. You know, the hammer.
Yeah, that'd be a good show.
Get him on there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Because we got stories.
That'd be a hell of a
Lots
show.
of great stories.
Hey, Ish, with your style of fishing, power, right? I heard as I was leaving the studio for a second that you picked up some spinning rods for the first time. How do you feel
lies. That was CNN. CNN reported that. That was lies.
Power for Death by Ish Monroe.
Yeah.
Do you feel like coming back to the opens with all the forward-facing sonar? You hear a lot of talk about there's less pressure on the bank Are you finding that to be true? This is for Mike and Ish.
Yeah.
Yes,
True or not?
100% yes. Yes,
Wow.
100% yes. Forward facing sonar, I used it, the active target by Lowrance. I used it this week. It definitely is a tool, but a lot of these new generation guys, I'm not going to say younger, just new generation bass fishermen, believe that it's the end all to fishing, and it's not. And you're still going to see guys like Greg Hackney, guys like Jason Christie go out there, use it as a tool, but also win tournaments doing what they do the best.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Fishing the bank.
Yeah. I'd agree
leave my bank grass alone.
I'd agree with that. But I'd also agree that you have to fish your strengths. And I think some anglers' strengths lend themselves toward active target, toward off the bank, light line, and some angler strengths are the opposite. So like Ish, what's your mindset? You're packing your boat and truck over the next 4 to 6 weeks. Are you putting spinning rods in? Are you just packing frogs and flipping? What's your mindset?
I have no spinning rods planned until we head up north to Thousand Islands.
Wow.
Dang.
So no spinning rods for the first over half of the season.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Stop the presses.
So you're talking about Sandy Cooper, like nothing.
That's incredible.
Wow.
No spinning.
We're not going to Sandy Cooper. We're going to Eufaula, Alabama.
Oh, the Opens.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Eufaula, Alabama. We're going to Bugs Island, Flipping Bushes. We're going to Eufaula, Oklahoma. We're going to Toledo Bend. I'm trying to think of where else we're going, but I don't see no spinning rods necessary.
Until you hit smallmouth world.
Until you hit smallmouth, until we go to Thousand Islands. And you know as well as I do, you better have that stinking spinning rod in your hand when you go to a smallmouth fishery. Yeah. I can go fish for largemouth. I definitely can.
Yeah.
And I can have a good tournament. But I'm at the point in my career, my mindset is winning.
Right.
And power fishing, the lakes that we're going to, is going to allow me to win. But when we go up north, you got to fish for the smallmouth to win the event.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree with that. I would agree with that. Speaking of winning, Ish, how many bass events have you won? You won a lot.
5.
You won 5 bass events. An open.
Yep.
One
open, 3 elites, and the Bush Shootout.
Wow. Dang. That's incredible. That's incredible.
So,
how much do you want to add another one of those blue trophies to your collection?
I love them. I love those blue trophies. They're pretty blue trophies. I definitely want to add. I'd love to have a few more in there. You know, that's I think I'm one of maybe 2 or 3 guys that has each one of the actual blue trophies.
It's very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
You won on Okeechobee, didn't you?
I won on Okeechobee.
That's most impressive. A California guy going down and waxing them Florida
boys. That was of all your wins, Ish. That was my favorite. The Amistad one was super fucking cool. They were all cool. They were
Amistad was cool, but it was frustrating. But if I would have caught that one that I lost, then it would have been the best, because that fish was.
Tell that story real quick, because you've told it before on Ike Live. You've told it before, but I want you to tell it again.
So we're at a tournament, and there's sight fishing, and I'm cruising through the bushes, and I see this fish, and it's probably 6 or 7 pounds, and it's sitting next to a log, and I decided to pitch my Tora tube down there. Or no, I'm sorry, I pitched a brush hog down there at the time, and the log decided to roll on its side.
Crazy, man.
The log rolled.
The log rolled, and it wasn't a log, it was a giant bass. So I pitched a Tora tube down there, and she ate that thing, and I've got an 11-aught custom-made Gamakatsu hook, 11-aught.
Forged in fire.
Yeah.
I've got 30-pound fluorocarbon, and I've got a 8-foot 6-power flipping stick.
Good Lord.
And the fastest gear ratio reel at the time was 7-to-1 from Daiwa. And I set the hook on this fish, and she never got hooked. She didn't even move. She blew the torque tube out and decided to just swim away from me. So if I'd have caught that fish, yes, it would have been the best. But Okeechobee was an amazing, amazing event. I mean,
yeah, that was my favorite. Okeechobee was my favorite. And here was the thing. And by the way, we are in the cutoff of Okeechobee for information, so we're not asking any information. But the coolest thing for me about that win for you was the audible on day 4. You know, I'm for everybody watching, listen, I'm going to take you back real quick, give you the quick version.
Oh man,
dude, fishing the same spot day 1, day 2, day 3, smashed your faces in. 2 days in a row, you're leading by like 11, 12, 13 pounds. Day 3, don't catch them as good. Chris Lane starts
19 pounds. I caught 19 pounds.
19 pounds. I know.
That was still good.
You had like 30, 20, and 19 or something.
Yeah, I had 35, 24, almost 25, and I had 19.
But here's the craziest part, though, and this is why I love this win. How do you not go back to where you caught him? Like, I am never going anywhere else if I catch that much weight out of an area. And on day 4, you launch and say, I'm not going there. I'm going somewhere else. How do you do that?
Because my camera guy went and blabbed to everybody where I was fishing, and there was 30 local tournament boats sitting on my water.
What?
On day 3.
Were they wearing pro jerseys?
Yes, they were.
And what do you think about that?
Hey, I come off. This is the worst part. I come off pad. Literally come off pad, and I'm putting a trolling motor in the water, and there's a guy in a boat telling his partner, "Hey, I told you this is where the leader of the Bassmaster tournament's fishing."
Oh, Jesus!
No way.
What are your thoughts?
Way. My thoughts were my camera guys going around to the tackle shops bragging about Ish down here fishing. This is where he's at, and everybody wants to go catch those fish.
Yeah. So not your actual camera guy, but the chase boat.
Yeah, the chase boat driver.
Right.
Yeah, the chase boat driver. Yes, the local chase boat. He wanted to be the cool guy to all his buddies.
But you know what's funny though? But looking back on it, that guy probably won you the tournament though, because you think that area would have held up for 4 days. Or do you think that helped you?
So day 1, I caught 35 pounds by 11:30.
Wow.
There was a shiner boat there. Those dudes caught 3 bags of 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
On day 1. They caught 3 bags of 40 pounds on day 2.
Wow.
So there was a gang load of fish there. Just day 3 had boat pressure from 30 boats in there, and it's only good for maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Now, that area you switched to on day 4, was it just something you went to blind, or was it another thing you found in practice?
No, it was another area that I found in practice. It was a backup area that I felt like I could catch a 20-plus pound bag out of it. And once again, the light shines on. When it's your time, it's your time. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I pull in an area. I catch 2 6s, a 4.5, a 5 in about 30 minutes.
Crazy.
And then I leave and go stick a 9 on my way back on the area that I actually started in on day 4. I didn't get any bites out of it, and I ran back there because I had some bites in there too and caught a 9.
Dang.
Wow. Crazy. Meant to be.
Meant to be. And never saw another boat. We're not even talking about tournament boat. Never saw another boat.
Wow.
On Okeechobee, that's really hard to do when there's an area with fish in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that won't happen when we're there for the elites because the entire lake has been nuked.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like a bomb went off there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Small.
Yeah, because you're right. It's 'cause the two times I fished Okeechobee, I didn't see a boat or a fish.
Right.
Dave was catching tilapia fish, and he liked it.
So that makes sense.
But
how rare it was.
But I also have to say that I did at the time. I was one of two guys flipping the missile baits D-bomb for the first time in that event. John had just introduced them to the market.
That's right. And I think that was key, man, because that bait
was key.
That bait's special. It still is special.
That bait's very special. I mean,
new like that, it's more special.
Do you guys believe that?
I do.
New baits, new profiles, new shapes, new action.
Dude, I believe it. I've seen it too many times.
Mike calls them prototypes.
Prototypes.
I will tell you. So once again, you guys have all fished Oneida.
Oh yeah.
And before that, Johnny had, but we had samples. And I used it to catch fish at Oneida when I won Oneida as well.
Yeah. No, I've seen it too many times. I've seen it with like shapes and the way something moves.
I would absolutely agree.
Yeah. Senko.
I would agree.
Finesse or sluggo, finesse fish,
bladed crankbaits.
Oh yeah.
Forget about it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I've seen some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
I can tell you
so that
man eat his own head.
Yeah.
So besides Okeechobee, it has 2 Delta Toyota series on top of it. And a lot of guys out here punch, but obviously there's something special about the D-bomb because it does catch them.
Yeah.
And if you're not fishing a D-bomb, you're probably missing out.
Yeah. I'm going to be
worse than
don't sleep on that baby.
You're worse than weekend anglers who wear pro jerseys if you don't use a D-bomb.
Listen to me. I will tell you this, and I'm being totally honest with you. I've taken all of my shit out when it comes to beaver style baits.
Yep.
And I only carry 3 of them now. I carry, of course, I like the Max Scent one.
Pussy. Yeah.
The Max Scent Creature Hog,
Right
I
on.
think is special.
Right.
I like the Pit Boss.
Oh yeah.
And I carry missile D-bombs.
And a pocket.
I got rid of everything else.
Yeah.
No baby D-bombs in there?
Baby D-bomb, but that's included.
Yeah, both sizes.
Love
both sizes.
Love it, man.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the baby.
Took everything out. No more. I took all the Reaction Innovation Sweet Beavers out. All that's gone.
It is. I was going
Gone.
to say that. Yeah.
Those have been gone out of my box since 2012. So,
dang,
that's the same year that they hit max capacity with the Large Hadron Collider.
Do you feel like this is a question on the D-bomb for Ish? Ish, do you feel like the ribs in the D-bomb, it captures the bubbles and it has a little bit? Tell me, is there something special about that as the way the bait's designed? The thin appendages.
And then tell me about your Ranger live wells after that. Jesus.
I don't own Ranger live wells. I have Skeeter live wells. They're better.
Break that D-bomb down.
So the D-bomb, when Johnny designed the D-bomb, he asked a lot of questions. The great part about John is John has zero ego. That's the greatest thing about Johnny Cruz is there's zero ego when it comes to designing baits. He will ask everybody that he knows that he firmly believes is going to tell him the honest truth. And so we wanted something with more action. The D-bomb makes a great chatterbait trailer. If you see how much action comes off those legs and the appendages, besides the ribs and the bait that, look how many companies have knocked off the ribs on the D-bomb.
Yeah.
Prototypes.
No, they went from the beaver style to the actual D-bomb style now because it catches fish everywhere we go.
Yeah. It's good bait.
Mm-hmm.
Plus Johnny makes amazing colors.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a mastermind when it comes to colors. Like he talks to me about it. He talks to Ike about it. He talks to everybody he can to find out favorite colors. And then he'll take them and then he'll be like, ooh, we need to do this. And then I'm like, ooh, that's another color I need to add. That's not right because I don't like to have too many colors, but I got to have that one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is true.
Yeah, Johnny's awesome. I mean, that's
Anybody want?
Yeah, Brian, you do have a color.
That's right.
Brian, what you came up with a custom color? What's it called?
Rusty Crawl.
Rusty Crawl. Hell yeah.
Crow.
Rusty Crawl's Brian's color.
Yeah.
Ah, look at the big brain on. I'm tired, guys. Hey, you guys gotta understand. I am so tired. I gotta tell this real quick. So today is Saturday, right?
Yes.
Saturday. Okay. So Wednesday night, midnight, I left my house Wednesday night at 9 p.m., hopped on a red eye to Chicago to go work the Chicagoland show on Thursday.
Oh, Jesus.
Flew home Thursday night from Chicago, jumped in my truck, drove to Shasta, 3.5 hours away. Drove home from Shasta the first day, 3.5 hours, because I have a new puppy and am now driving back.
Oh.
Kind of puppy.
So
Now, are you celebrating your awesome life, or are you complaining about it right now? Like, what are you actually doing?
I'm complaining about the no sleep, but yes, I can honestly say that I have a pretty
tractor trailer tomorrow for 10
hours. A what?
I'm pretty sleepless.
No, that I gotta drive 7.5 hours again on Monday or Tuesday morning for Toyota Series at Lake Havasu.
Oh,
sounds beautiful. I've never been there.
Havasu.
You sound like Richie Rich complaining he's taking his fucking bath out of his silver bathtub tonight, not the marble one.
Hey, just lack of sleep, I'll just say just lack of sleep. But it is pretty awesome. I do have to admit that.
You're blessed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are.
And yes, golden retriever puppy to add to the silver lab, the Australian lab shepherd mix, and the husky. So four pups.
Damn. You got all big man dogs.
Yeah.
Real shit.
That's a herd, man.
Real dogs. Yes.
Yeah. Right on.
Real dogs.
Real dogs.
See, I pictured you having like a Shar-Pei with anxiety problems or something.
Leave it today.
A Shar-Pei.
The Shar-Pei would get his feelings hurt, and the other dogs would make the Shar-Pei a real dog because they would be like, "Yeah, we don't have issues here. We don't have problems. We're a real dog."
No, would be a Shar-Pei. No, they were bred to have loose necks so that when they're fighting, the neck they don't suffer the damage that most dogs do because of the fat around their necks.
Gotcha.
They're bad.
Well, my silver lab's 100 pounds, so he would be like, "Yeah, you better toughen up real quick."
Silver lab. Yeah, I got a Wyme. They look very similar.
Yeah.
Yes, they do look very similar.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Ish, anything else new for 2023? We got people listening, people watching. They're on the edge of their chair.
Just,
you got got new circuit. What else you got new for 2023?
On the run.
On the run. Not much else. Just trying to manage it all. And life's, like I said, life's pretty good. You just try to manage it all, and you want to I'm at the point now where I'm just fishing a lot, which is awesome because I am fishing a lot of tournaments this year, but the majority of them are at home. I mean, I've got 30 some odd tournaments on my calendar, but a lot of those are one-dayers that, we have a Wednesday night circuit that happens in the summer on the Delta. We've got New Gen team tournament, West Pro-Ams, Wild West Apex, ABA. I'm fishing that because we get to fish ABA out here in California, even if you're a pro. So yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff for me to fish, and I'm really more excited about fishing at home and sleeping in my own bed because it's pretty awesome to go to a tournament and then pull in your garage, plug your boat in, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and take off and go fishing again at home.
Hell yeah. I wish, Ish, I'll be honest with you, I'm jealous. I wish we had the sheer amount of tournaments that you guys have here in the Northeast. We don't have that. I wish we did,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have lots of tournaments here. I mean, we have a full actual jamboree that has to go on to keep everybody in line. But there's almost too many. I mean, I'm because I'm fishing Wild West Pro-Ams, I did miss out on an opportunity to fish a team tournament championship on Clear Lake, and that's the one that's going on today. That once again they're catching 25-pound bags and not even leading the tournament.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's
Who
crazy.
doesn't want to catch 25 pounds? I do. I like catching 25-pound bags.
What?
25 pounds.
25 pounds.
I mean,
5 pound
I sometimes will rep them out with hammer curls. Is that what you're asking me? You're talking about
25 pounds of hammer curls.
Reps, more reps, 25 pounds, reps, more reps. But other than that, no, I'm just not really much else other than that stuff. That's it.
Well, I tell you this, I'm excited for you, Ish. I'm excited to see you back at Bass. I can't wait. I know you're going to stick to your game plan. You got a great game plan. I think you're going to do great. Can't wait to have you back at the Elites. Hopefully, I have a decent year and I don't get kicked out. That would be nice. But but I did want to ask you about this real quick. So once we let you go in our last segment, we're going to do a MTB unboxing. I know you know about this product. What do you think about Mystery Tackle Box? Pretty cool deal, right?
That Mystery Tackle Box is awesome. It gives you an opportunity to get some of the hottest baits for the time of year. They've got they go to River to Sea. They got Missile. All the biggest name brands you get in that Mystery Tackle Box, and so it's very important for people to sign up. Because we don't always know what to throw, but they'll send you something that you can throw and you will catch fish on it. And who doesn't want to catch fish? That's the reason I go fishing is to catch fish. I'm trying to change the label from fishing to catching.
I like to do that too. I like to do it. And I love, Paul, I've said this before, but I love the fact that you open this box and you have in your hand something that you might not buy on your own.
Right.
Absolutely.
I like that it sort of forces you.
It introduces you to new
I love
brands.
that. I love that about
New
it.
brands, new different
I
kinds
love
of
it.
baits
Because if
that-
it's not like a 4-inch little finesse worm, usually I wouldn't consider it. But,
I think one time they threw the small, 90 size Whopper Plopper in there because people had told me that they got it in there and they never would have bought it, but they got it and then they threw it and then they end up buying a whole box of them because of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Speaking of Whopper Plopper, dude, Vegas the Hammer throws that little one. You ever see that little one?
The 90.
Oh, yeah, the fat
The
little
90.
one.
Oh,
no,
dude.
the 75.
Dude, it's
The
little.
70.
Yeah.
It's
75.
little. It's like that big, dude. It's like in
The
2
70.
inches.
The
He
75.
loves that.
Yeah, the short fat one.
Yeah.
The one that looks like Pete Lusick, the short fat one.
Yeah.
Was that wrong? Was that wrong?
Little
Say that?
48 special, little snub nose.
Yeah. Little snubby.
Saturday night special.
Saturday night special.
Yo, Pete.
Yo, Pete.
Yo,
Ish,
Pete.
Yo, Pete. Yo, you're in
Yo,
Texas.
Pete, I'm keeping your seat warm for you.
Yo, Pete's ordering jalapeno donuts.
It's like mini Pete. Like
jalapeno donuts.
in Texas.
Jalapeno donuts. That doesn't even sound
Jalapeno.
appealing.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what he's eating. Ish, dude, it was so nice catching up with you.
Heck yeah,
on the
always.
The cheese.
And the other great thing
cheese
is
on the donut.
I love that it's 10 years and you've been on our show through the years, through the era of Ike Live. It's been great.
Yes. I'm glad to always be on and looking forward to a great year. And I really miss you guys. And so when I go to Thousand Islands, I'm going to have to I forgot to tell you. I will be popping up at a few of the elite events this year.
Oh, all right. What do you mean?
So-
Are you doing a little
so-
recon fishing? What are you
Well,
doing?
you know what? Bass does a great job once again. The interaction with fans, and they're going to have some of the elite events. They're going to have basically some of their sponsors come out and basically do demos. So Daiwa is going to be doing like demo booths and selling product at these events. And so they've asked me to come to a few of those events and a few elite events. And I'm like, heck yeah, because I get to see my boys.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see you out at them. We'll definitely get some beers and some dinner.
And some cheesy donuts.
Beer.
And some jalapeno donuts.
with extra.
Beer. Are you not carrying Founders on tour with you, Mike?
What's that?
He said, "Are you carrying Founders?"
I'm going to have Oh yeah, I'll have Founders. I'll have Corona. I'll have Yards.
Flounder.
I'll probably have a little bit of vodka. Maybe what do you think? Tito's, maybe.
Hey, Tito's and crab.
Oh yeah,
Tito's lemonade.
It's going to keep me going. Ish, thanks for coming on the show, man. Drive safe. How much longer you have on the drive back?
I'm either breaking up or you guys.
All right, we're going to let you go. Drive safe, Ish.
All right, see you guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Ish.
We'll see you.
Safe travels.
All right, Ish Monroe, everybody. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Yes.
So you said he had hair.
Oh, he did. We were talking
You
about
didn't
like
say it?
10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a full head of hair.
No, he was shaved.
No, we're talking
Oh.
about like 10 years ago. Dude, it's nice catching up with Ish. Here's the thing I love about Ish. Dude, he 99% of the time he shoots it straight. And I like that. I like that, man. Tells you how it is. And you got to appreciate that. You know
No,
what I
he
mean?
does.
You got
Let's
to
talk
appreciate
about that 1% that's really bugging your ass right now, Michael.
No, no, the 1%. No, the 1%. Do you remember the show? We've had Ish on.
Yeah.
We've had Ish on a lot. I would say.
know the show.
I would say we've had Ish on as much as.
Hold on.
Who else we had?
Jake.
We have Bobby Lane on a
We have
lot.
a list.
We had.
Jake, where's the list?
Well, we've had a lot. We've had a lot of them on a lot, but Ish has been on a lot.
At least 3.
So what was the 1%?
3-ish times.
The 1% is when we had Ish on right after he got in that brawl with Keith Poche.
Brawl?
The boat incident.
The boat incident. The boat-to-boat incident. And we kind of put him on the spot, but he was pretty quiet.
Yeah, no, yeah.
He was pretty quiet.
We were very, very. Do you have that? I have a list. I actually started compiling a list because, folks at home, next Saturday, 1 week from today, is the Ike Live 10-year show.
10-year
Well, I
anniversary
can't see
coming
any
up
of that.
next show.
Yeah, I wish we had our experience now when that happened because we could have done it way better.
Yes, we were green. What show number was that?
Good.
With Ish and Keith Poche.
So while they're doing that, Mike, what was
Yeah.
so you're saying
14, Mike.
he didn't? Wow, show 14.
Show 14.
Yeah, that was like the only show we've had Ish on where he didn't really he was, and I get it.
Yeah, he was trying to get a penalty.
Right. Yeah, he had a lot of shit going on,
Yeah.
like a lot of legal shit. So I get it. But I love Ish because he speaks his mind. That's nice.
The absolute best part of
Yeah.
that show was whoever came up with the idea to have like the Coast Guard rescue helicopter over top of a bass boat. That was like it must have been I don't know who did it, but someone had like a Coast Guard rescue bird over top of like a bass boat. You know?
What, in the promo?
Yeah, no, like for like the YouTube video, the clip from it.
Oh, really?
Oh man, that's great. That's
Either
great.
Eric or Jason.
Dude, there's been some. It's nice that Brian, you sent me a couple of the clips, the old clips.
Oh my
You
God.
forget about the
Oh,
stuff
dude.
that happened, and we had Shannon on the
Shannon's
one clip you
cruising.
sent. We had Shannon on, and he's down there strumming the fucking guitar.
That banged up shitty guitar.
Oh yeah,
right.
he's-
It was like
he's strumming the guitar, and there's this skit where it's a hair jig skit, and it's so great because
I
we're
don't
we're
remember.
just freestyling about this hair
Was
jig.
I there?
And, yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. That was funny.
Was that Mike's DJ session?
No, Dave wasn't there.
Dave wasn't at that one.
Shannon, it was you and Pete, Shannon and John on the couch, me, Eric, and old salesman March.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared.
Jared.
Oh,
Been back, yeah.
oh, wow, man, that's a long time ago. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. Dude, 2 good interviews tonight, Paul. Of course, Billy Strings and Ish Monroe. I don't know if they both fish frogs, so similar in that respect, but.
Feels like a shad. And they look at it, and they suck it, and they suck it, they suck it down. And they eat it. They say, what are you doing later? They suck it down. I want to take you out tomorrow night. Get harder and harder. And they suck it down, and they suck it down. Come on, bucktail!
Yeah, I don't even remember. That's amazing.
That's a freestyle bucktail.
Oh, we got
yeah, it was like thrash. like acapella thrash.
We had a comment come through earlier. Somebody wanted Billy to call you out. You promised a DJ session.
DJ session.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Mike mixing was pretty amazing when we had the Chicago guys.
Oh yeah, we had the Chicago guys on DJing. That was great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be pulling a lot of old clips.
Yeah, man, I miss those guys. I wonder how Ray and Steez are doing, man.
Steezo, right?
Yeah, Steezo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good dudes, man.
I had fun with them.
You did. Yeah. That was
they didn't
great.
know what they were walking into.
They got clapped by a gringo, dude. They weren't ready for that.
Dude, we've had a lot of guests on the show in studio and on, via Skype or Zoom or whatever that didn't know what they were walking into.
No.
Which was one of the allures of the show back then.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we kind of hit that like peak, and then guys were like afraid to come on. I would hit people up like, oh, boy.
Lord.
See, thing is, everybody was mostly afraid of Dave.
I know.
Right. Dave.
And I felt like an asshole. I'd be like, hey, Walt. But I'd be like, he'd be like, sigh.
Listen,
I'm like, I just want to know how you won.
Dave,
That's all.
Didn't even say
the
anything.
problem is, you're so old. Most of the jokes he had against me went right over my head before my time.
Hold on.
That's why I didn't get
No,
it.
Paul, it's not. He's so old. It's you're so innocent. You didn't understand the depth of the.
Hold on, he's working through something right now. He just completely made this about himself. So go ahead.
Wow. As I was saying about my.
Well, I loved one of the things I loved about
Paul, don't change.
I loved about
No,
Stormtrooper.
We all want to be like you.
Is that Stormtrooper was able to deflect that? You know, like when you would be interviewing people or talking to people as Dave, there was like always this like it was like
who's this retard that I'm talking to?
But when Stormtrooper did it, dude, it cut right to the chase.
That Bass interview with Stormtrooper.
Oh yeah.
The night before Christmas. Whatever that was.
Oh, dude, so good.
Thank you.
Yes,
so
like
good.
Polygraph for Wheeler.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Jacob Polygraph. Yeah, Jacob. Is it true?
One more Stormtrooper, please.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's making a return.
We'll go out with a bang.
Guys, we're starting a GoFundMe for Stormtrooper. More Stormtrooper. Send your donations in today at stormtrooper.com.
Oh God.
I'll tell you, I'll do it on the arm. No need for donations.
Oh God.
On the arm.
Yeah.
All right.
You never heard that term?
No.
Like when if you bought someone dinner, if you bought them drinks, it's on the arm.
Yeah.
Never
heard that.
Saw it in mafia movies.
Oh, all right. Nate Callan was on the arm last night.
True.
He had the white
thing.
Right. Yeah.
All right, Brian the Carpenter.
Server drinks.
Zoom in on this.
Hold on, let me get
Brian the Carpenter. Zoom in on this. I don't know how to zoom in.
You can do it.
He's gonna come do it manually.
I'll leave the mic on after the show for you.
He's gonna do it manually. We are the only live fishing podcast that does this every show. And we're about to do a live unboxing of a mystery tackle box. And Paul, tonight we're going to do the Elite box. And I wouldn't have it any other way than to start this with you. And of course, that means we're doing Brian the Carpenter last again, 10 years in a row.
Oh, yeah. He gets the hook or the weight.
He always gets the last. The last.
I love this hook.
Places in his boat.
You guys know how this works. We're going to select the bait. We're going to pass the box on, and we're going to talk about this bait. So Paul's going to go first. Brian's going to get stuck with the split shot.
Brian's mad he never got to go first. Paul, two
never,
shows
ever,
in a row.
Ever in the history of this thing.
Paul, 2 shows in a row.
Okay.
I tell you, let Brian go third. Let Brian take my 3rd place ranking.
Oh boy,
because I'm just going to lie about what I see anyway.
What?
Here you go, Brian. No, I mean I don't know what I'm. Come on. All right,
man. I actually grabbed something freaking dope. Well, let's start with Paul. And then I want to get to mine because this
All right.
is super
Well,
dope.
In the spirit of getting my first bass of the year on a jerkbait, I had to naturally pick a jerkbait.
There you go. Success breeds success.
Baker lures,
Yep.
two treble hooks on it.
Oh, the Baker's a good one.
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
the Carpenter. Baker's a good one, dude.
Jerkbait.
Ooh. Baker's a good one. Actually, that's if you're watching this right now, I hate to even tell you this, but that's a South Jersey little secret.
Okay.
Is the Baker.
Picked a good one, huh?
Yeah, you may keep that one, Paul. You may want to pocket that one.
Pocket this
Yeah,
one.
that's a good one. This is a cool bait. I saw this one in here, and I am really, really big right now into swim baits. Swim baits that mimic real forage. And I saw this thing sitting here. Dude, look at that, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Little bluegill swim bait. This is 10,000 fish bait called a headhunter. And I'm going to actually pop this out for you guys real quick. And this is a little bluegill imitation.
Dang.
It kind of reminds me of a dark sleeper a little bit. Maybe that Berkeley Easy E one. But if I look at this one, it's cool because it has a hidden hook in the fin and it's on a magnet. And watch this. Hook pops out. There you go. You've got a free hook. Pushes back down. It's got a magnet in the body.
Dang.
Dude, I've seen bass devour little bluegill like that. And that looks dope, dude. That looks dope. Cool bait.
I wonder how
Headhunter.
balanced it is. What do
That's
you think?
headhunter.
12-pound line?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a little lighter fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty dope. Look at that thing, Paul.
Yeah,
all right, Dave, what you got?
I'm going back to the old school.
Uh-oh.
If you remember the old Bass Assassins for some of you old heads
Hell
out here,
yeah.
This is from Excite Baits. Nice little soft plastic.
I like the flukes without the fork tail.
Yes.
Just with the pin tail.
Well, these
I like
dart
that.
these dart more.
Yeah. They're more fluid.
Yep.
Yep. And a good color. Pearlescent. Straight pearl. It's a good color. All right. All right. Let's keep going.
Brian
the Carpenter.
Yeah, that's you. You're the only Brian here.
He's doing 80 things.
He's
Just in the
working.
camera.
He's working.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this thing though.
What did you get, Paul?
I got the
In his pocket already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that one's going home with him.
Says it's a secret.
No, dude, the Baker. People throw that. People throw that in South Jersey. You should try that.
It looks
10
like
years
it's
ago,
good shallow
last
depth,
ain't
too.
changing
It looks
now.
just like Lucky Craft.
Yeah.
Looks like just like
very similar.
100 pointers.
Brian the Carpenter, what do you got?
Eric's gonna
Eric,
go-
Eric, what do you got?
We're not changing this
Well,
up
in
now.
the spirit of what's coming up, I'm going with the lipless.
Oh, it's coming. It is. That season's coming.
It's the clutch from the Guggen squad from Ketchco.
Yeah.
And why do I like this color? Let's talk about that yellow. I show the camera. Where's the camera? Where the hell is the camera?
Right in
Got
front
it.
of you.
Right there. Right there. Something about a school bus yellow with some red mixed in the
The
spring.
the mix of the
One
two.
of my favorites,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Something about that trigger color combination right
Yeah.
there. Dynamite.
I'd
Let's hear
agree
it.
with that.
Let's hear it. A lot
Yeah.
of rattles. So multiple BBs in there. So
Yeah.
Let me hear that.
can you do that again?
You actually left me some good ones.
I wanted to. That's why
Brian's
I was
got
trying to-
good
I was
ones
trying
for a
to hook you up,
change.
bro.
You did.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Brian, what do you got?
Somatis makes a little swim bait here. A little side. All this in this one box.
Can I get a little whip of that, bro?
Yeah.
Is it like power bait or something?
Nah.
No.
But just a little swimmy. Good bait.
GP.
This here,
Green
dude.
pumpkin.
What do you think of
Let's
this?
talk about it.
Yeah.
Smells like a Kensington fleshlight.
Man.
What the crap? Where'd you find him from, Mike?
A Kensington fleshlight.
It doesn't, thank God.
Oh my God.
But let's round out the box so everybody gets the entire
right.
picture of what they get. It's a pack of these Z-Man crawls right here. Dude, a pack of these. There's what? 3 in there? 4 in there?
3 in there, man.
3? Dude, these things
In
last forever.
The deal.
In the deal. It's a,
The
phen-
color.
it's a phenomenal color. They last forever. Got that swim bait. Got another little square bill crankbait. And some spear point hooks.
I'm curious about those hooks, man.
What the
I
crap
looked at
was
a pack
that?
of those hooks in your boat. What do you think about the spear
Oh,
hooks,
they're
bro?
interesting, man. I ain't got no problem with
shape-
them. They sharp as a
I
motherfucker.
feel like they're sharp, man,
Sharp
and I
as a
feel like they're pretty
Oof.
rigid.
Oh yeah.
I'm feeling like you could use that for a power shot and right there. And I think that bend, like that J bend right there, once you get them hooked, they're not coming off.
I could say this. It's a lot like that. What was that?
What was that thing called?
The
the
hook
thing.
with the square bends in
That's
it,
what I'm
which
talking
just is
about.
round. But this will hold a beaver style bait truer than any other offset hook.
I'd like to try that power shot.
For real.
Truly would.
For real.
With a baby D bomb.
All right, Paul, you're up.
Me? Well, I've already talked about it, but I'll talk about it again. Good old jerk bait.
Well, we're moving on from that. What's
Hey,
up?
you missed
What's
the swim jig.
and I'm sorry,
about.
guys.
Wait, folks,
and
there's
a
more.
fantastic swim jig.
Yes.
No, did anybody get the square bill like Lucky Craft looking?
Yeah.
No, it's.
You already showed that.
Yeah, the
you
Lucky
showed
Craft.
it. The Catch Co.
Oh, okay.
Are you interested in that?
No, I don't
we
want
can
it.
give you the banger.
I don't need any of that, dude.
Dave, it's called the banger.
I got like, I'm good.
All right.
He's out, man. He's out. Paul?
If there's another PlayStation controller in there, I'll take it.
Well, everybody who's watching, I got to go fishing with Ike for the first time. And yeah.
How'd it go?
It went, well,
Well, I mean,
Mike, I'm talking about the first time me and you went fishing together for the first time ever.
Oh, well, let's get this is a good time. Hold on. Let's get Jake, come sit down for a second. Come on.
Yeah.
We want to get you on real quick, introduce you to everybody.
We're going to talk about your super win, like MLF style, 6 years after it happened. Everyone's going to get to know who you are.
Yeah. Now,
that feels about right.
yeah. No, here's the thing, and Jake, you were there. The day we fished with Paul was a real day. Like that's
real day.
Dude, it was a real day.
I did it in a while.
No, that's the thing. Like we didn't fish any sneak holes. It was all public water.
Yeah.
It was the worst conditions, dude.
That's
no,
how it is.
No, it wasn't like that. But it
No.
was the worst conditions you could ever ask for. Dude, we had flood tide. We fished tidal places had flood tide.
It was
we had
pouring rain.
It was raining.
pouring rain.
And we
It was
wanted to
cold.
film it all, so it was great.
Yeah,
Trying to film
yeah.
the
It
pouring
was
rain.
not even 40 degrees out.
Oh,
you
it was
know,
terrible. But here's the thing: we zeroed like men, which I really appreciate, dude. There's people that'll zero and then like never admit to it, like, oh, it didn't even happen. Dude, we zeroed like men.
Yeah.
We worked hard, dude. We fished like 4 or 5 places.
Oh, yeah.
Hustled, kept burning.
That's a
burning,
great
burning.
topic.
4
We just
hours.
never caught one,
Yeah.
So
Mike, that's a great topic. How do you zero?
It's called,
You know what I mean?
it's
Like,
called a skunk.
yeah. I don't know.
Well, I didn't know you could get Valor for it. I had never had a problem saying I never caught none.
It's called getting skunked.
Where's all my cred?
We're handing out trophies for
Can I,
zero right
yeah,
now.
can I have my
Hey,
participation
you
trophy,
can't
please?
get skunked if you don't go fishing. It don't work like that.
Hey, could you do a Stormtrooper I zeroed session?
Oh, yeah.
You don't even have to put the helmet on. Just say it like the Stormtrooper would say it. Or coaching somebody that zeroed.
Let me prepare for that one.
Okay. I want you to let that marinate.
Yeah. All right. Real quick, I want to introduce everybody to Jake. Jake Stem, newest guy here at Pro Edge, and dude, we appreciate you. You only been here a couple weeks, but here's the interesting story I want to talk about is
From the start.
from the start.
Yeah.
Tell us about how this has come full circle for you, because this is a cool story.
Jacob.
Yeah.
So,
Jacob.
I'm a young lad, born in 97. So shout out to those guys.
Shout out to
But,
young lads out there.
But back, what was it, 7-8 years ago, the first Pro-Am,
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to fish.
Yeah,
and,
the Ike Foundation Pro-Am when it was still on the Delaware River. Yeah.
The worst fishery ever.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to throw a bait caster, barely knew how to throw a spinning rod, grow up, pond fishing, trout fishing in Poconos or PA.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I got the opportunity to fish the Pro-Am, got paired up with Cliff Crochet, Cajun baby.
Oh.
Mama said.
Oh, you
Yeah,
definitely
Mama
didn't
said.
catch nothing then.
Hey, I got a catfish on a spinnerbait
There you go.
and like 2 6-inch largies. So
Oh!
Who else was in the boat?
a buddy of mine, I was working a foundation in PA,
Okay.
and we got the opportunity with Mid-Atlantic Youth Anglers.
Middle-aged youth
Todd
anglers.
Pride
Todd
gave
Pride.
me the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
And then another girl, and she brought her boyfriend, got to fish with Kevin Van Dam. And she
about
got
that?
paired with him, and she's like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, yeah.
Why?
But no, it was a great time. And that's where I started out. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a college team. So I was attending Kutztown University, started a college bass team there. Started fishing locally, co-angling, and then got into kayak stuff recently. And then 2 years ago, I fished the Pro-Am kayak on Knock, and Yeah, we took home the dub.
Won it. Won it on
90
knock.
guys.
Yeah, Ike
Out of
Foundation.
90 guys.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was an
kayak
awesome
event. That was a
tournament.
big win, dude. That was
Yeah.
cool. That was cool. So it's cool. It's come full circle, and we're glad to have you here. And
Yeah, and the Ike Foundation. I mean, that's
yeah.
huge. I mean, that's made me want to do stuff. I mean, Frankie Provolone, Slay Nation.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually directing.
Yo,
a college.
Frankie. Yo.
I'm actually directing a college series.
That's
for
awesome.
the Northeast. So any
Did you
college
know that,
kids-
Brian the Carpenter?
Yes, I learned it last night.
Oh, you did know. Okay.
So any college kid, you don't have to go to a school with a team. You could be
Yeah.
in community college, whatever. Northeast, I'm doing the good fisheries. We're doing.
What
Smith-
about? All right, but here's the
Yeah.
question. I get this. So I
Mhm.
like that it's open up to all college.
Yeah.
What if you're doing one of those online universities, like Phoenix, like the Phoenix,
Phoenix.
like the
University,
pajama
yeah.
colleges? Does
Hey,
that
as
qualify?
long as they can
University?
prove they're in the age range,
Yes.
which is normal
Yeah.
18 to 23, 24,
Right.
and they're a college student, they can fish our kayak series.
What about the College of Martial Arts?
if it's a certified college? It counts.
Wow, I like
So
this.
we're doing
Paul.
kayak style tournaments.
Yeah.
We're allowing motors.
Yeah.
One motor per kayak.
Okay.
And it's going to be everyone fish against themselves. You don't have to have a college team or anything, but we're doing 3 amazing fisheries, 4 with the championship. We're going to do Smith Mountain Lake in April.
That's a good one.
We're doing Cayuga Lake end of May.
That's a really, really good one.
We're going to hit the Susquehanna in Pennsylvania end of June.
Upper Susquehanna.
Yep.
Good time in
that's a good
June. There's
one.
still water in it.
Yeah.
How about the Penco Tech guys? They allowed to participate?
Yeah, Penco
yeah.
Tech.
All right.
Juvie Hall.
And then we're going to
Vokey.
wrap it up.
Vokey.
We're going to wrap it up with a championship on Champlain.
Oh.
End of August. We're
It's
going
a
to
hell of a good schedule.
Yeah, I want to get these kids fishing. Like Ike Foundation,
Yeah.
everything you did got me where I'm
Yeah.
at today. And
Oh yeah.
I want to give back and try to
That's
get more
awesome,
kids
man.
fishing. So I'm
That's
super
awesome.
excited
Well,
for it.
That's a good cause.
Yeah.
All about getting more people fishing. So very, very cool. Very cool. Dave, what are you writing notes over
Michael?
there? Yeah. What do you got? Oh, did you send me a text?
No. What notes? What's Dave doing? Dave? Oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
He's writing some notes.
Yeah, Dave's writing notes.
So-
Yeah.
So Paul, what's where are you planning on fishing next?
Wherever there's fish that will bite.
All right. It's fantastic.
Good answer. Good answer.
I'll figure that
The
out.
message board was lit up with that question.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. We got to fish again, Paul.
Oh heck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And we got, and it doesn't have to be just a tournament.
True.
There is this thing called fun fishing. I do it all the time. You should try it.
Well, I do fun work and make money,
Oh, okay.
and pay the bills. But yeah, no, I'm with you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested to fish down here right now. I want to.
Oh,
I'll take you on a ride.
You're
we'll
very
go
you're
somewhere.
very negative on South Jersey.
I
Brian.
just, dude, I'm fucking 50 years old. I don't want to catch a 2-pounder. Don't do nothing for me.
Let's
You
go
know
to
what I mean?
North Jersey.
And that's a good day.
Yeah.
Like they fished rainbow today.
Yeah.
10 dudes, 3 people weighed in fish.
Yeah.
2 boats had 2 fish, and the winning boat had 4 for 5 and change.
jeez.
4 for 5.
And change.
Wow.
Yeah, with it. Yeah.
That reeks.
No shit.
How did Chris do?
Fertile.
0.
Oh, man.
Loser.
He lost like a man, though.
He did.
Nah, if he was a man, he
accepted
would have came
zero.
to the event last night.
That's true.
Leave the fish alone for the children.
We'll see. We'll see, Brian.
You're starting this foundation. There's no fucking fish to catch down here.
Yeah.
Brian, you gotta realize it's winter in South Jersey. Of course, everywhere sucks. It's gonna change come April,
How
March.
dare
even.
you?
I'm just saying.
Well, show me the results in April.
Oh, I will.
Show
Do
me
that.
the
I
money.
will.
You do that.
Let's go up to Merrill
Follow
Creek.
my
and
I also
Instagram
want to
account. I'll
know,
show ya.
calculate your hours on the water versus how many fish you catch.
Okay.
All
All right.
Yeah.
You got to travel north, Paul. You got to go to Merrill Creek, northern
Whoa.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
What?
South Jersey can be good. but
It used to
can be
be.
Certain times
It
of the
can
year.
be tough.
Michael ruined it.
Nah, get out of here. I had nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with that. Had nothing to do with that
A little
at all.
bit. You might add a little do.
Mike and Pete, both of them.
All right, so I want to know what you got to. You guys have to tell me more. The vampire here. We have an actual vampire in the house.
No.
We talking about?
No, he's not a vampire.
No.
No, I know you're not a vampire,
No,
but
Travis.
You know, every
Travis is a
vampire,
vampire?
yeah, but every vampire has like a caretaker
yeah.
who makes sure that like the
Oh,
coffin.
you're the caretaker.
Yeah, he makes sure that the coffin room is dark, that the curtains are drawn so as not to expose him to light.
Yes. Thank you, David. I did not pick up on this.
No,
I did
the
not
well-spoken, articulate, smart guy that
Yes.
knows how to keep the vampire alive.
Absolutely.
They all have one of them.
The front man.
No, like
Yeah, Flavor Flav.
yes.
Thank you
He's
for having me. I'll
Travis
be
Flavor Flav.
but he's got like an eternal stopwatch around his neck to keep the vamp alive.
The eternal stopwatch.
Keep the vamp
You
alive.
have a brilliant brain, man. I
have an immature childish
brain. What is going on in that brain? The combination of words you come up with, dude, it's just like
Kensington Fleshlight.
Brian said it's a playground. That's what he told me one time.
It's true. What happened to you, man? That's just crazy good. What happened to you? I need to.
It was the exposure.
That's like every 80s movie.
age.
It starts with electricity. I probably got zapped.
I want to
Dude.
do a
Like,
documentary on the making of
Yeah.
Stormtrooper.
No,
you have to know.
no, that's
Dude, the Huffy Bike episode. I thought
We need Mark Jeffries to do a 20 feet deep on Dave.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it'd be like 2,000 feet. Deep,
It
man.
would- it
We
would-
get to the 10th.
it'd be about a bucket and a half deep. That's what you could call that one.
150.
Bucket and a half.
150 deep.
Endo.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Endo. Right into the curb.
Anthony Guy says Dave's over there writing his memoir on Bigfoot and Nephilim. What?
Nephilim.
I don't know.
The
We're about to
Nephilim.
find out.
All right.
I won't bore the people with the
Thank
Nephilim.
you.
I'll tell you about it.
All right.
That's what the after party.
Just say spinnerbait instead of Nephilim, but we all know what you're talking about.
So these really like angelic spinnerbaits came down from heaven and bred with like normal female spinnerbaits and formed these half angelic, half normal spinnerbaits
Double
called
Colorados?
the double Nephilim.
That's a perfect example
All right.
of your brain,
Oh
bro.
my
It's
God.
just- who thinks of that?
Spinnerbaits.
Who
Yeah.
thinks of that? He does.
It's fantastic.
It truly is fantastic.
Yeah.
So, Eric, I want to call you to play on something. So last night when you first came to the event,
Yes.
you brought me a gift.
Oh.
And it's a very, very cool plug. Has a lot of meaning. And it's a really, really cool lure.
Thank you.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But I need to know where did you get it? Because it's not easy to find those around anymore. Like they're kind of a lost piece of art.
What is
you
it?
know?
Truly is.
Sure. So it's a lure. I a couple of years ago I would feel bad about saying this, but now I really don't. But it's a lure by Lure's Lure.
Yep,
Jerry Lure.
Yep.
That's his name.
Yep.
Not like Lure, but it's spelt different.
LOHR.
That's correct. And he's passed away.
He has.
But he was one of the original North Carolina carvers.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, the Fritz, the Gerald Beck days
Whittling.
back,
Sure.
like
Legendary, man.
legendary.
Whittling balsa.
Little Speedy.
Yeah.
Little Speedy's the bait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very thin, custom bait,
Yeah.
tight vibration, like a finesse crankbait when shit got tricky.
True.
One of my favorite baits for years and years.
Do
and
you
years.
have any?
I probably have with that one that I got last night.
Like
I probably have
200.
7. That's probably my 7th one.
Okay.
7 or 8 I have left of good ones that
Yeah.
actually run.
Yeah, you have to figure out
Yeah.
which ones were good, which ones weren't.
So that's cool. So how did you end up with that bait?
So, man, I'll take you back. So I was walking a bass show, Bassorama, when they used to have it at I guess it was Timonium. Bassorama was Richmond. So the Timonium Fairgrounds was a different one.
Bass Expo.
Thank
Timonium
you.
Bass Expo.
The Bass Expo.
Yeah.
So I'm walking the floor. And there's Pete Gluzik with Captain Steve Chaconis. He's a guide on the Potomac River. And I got to know Captain Steve. Every year he'd sell his boat, and I'd take him fishing in my boat.
What year are we talking about?
I don't even remember.
All right.
So I got to talking crankbaits with Steve, and then Pete popped in. We start talking cranks. And I went down the crankbait wormhole, man, since I've been a little bass head, right? Started collecting Bagleys in the 70s, and just expanded from there. So he brought up Jerry Lures, and he talked about the Little Speedy. And so I went to researching the Little Speedy, and as I found them on eBay or other places, I bought them.
Yeah.
And then I bought some of the Mans, which was the recreation. And legend has it that you encouraged Mans to make the Thin Man, which was the recreation of the Little Speedy and the plastic version, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about the Thin Man, and thank you.
Are they worth something? Because I have them.
You do?
Yeah.
You had the Man's version?
I have them.
The Mans.
They're
Thin
probably
Man.
worth something.
Okay.
They're way
I
discontinued.
definitely have them, and I don't like them.
Way discontinued. The challenge with those was
You don't like them because they're fishing stuff?
They have these hooks on.
It's not a video game
Has
controller.
hooks on. They have these hooks on them that hook me.
So, Mike, Mike, some of those baits, even the wood baits, right? You might get a suspender, you might get a slow
Right.
sinker, you might get a fast
Right.
riser if the balsa was super buoyant, not dense, like light, like
Yeah.
a cork. And same thing with the man's plug. So I've caught some big river fish, just worming that bait early spring when it gets, you're behind 4 boats.
Oh, yeah.
You might be in a certain spawning bay. You're worming it through wood or on the bank. It's a producer, man. So I had to give it to you. It's one of my favorite colors.
So
it was
cool.
Custom painted by
Great
my buddy,
color. Yeah.
Tacklecraft TK Stanley. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, I love that bait, man. But
Yeah.
I've got plenty more. I cannot wait to get together with you and bring some of what I consider the legendary bait makers.
Yeah.
And the finest creations that they've made.
Yeah.
Because many of them passed. I mean, recently.
Oh, yeah.
We could do a whole episode.
Yeah.
Where were you 10 years ago when this show started? Like, we could have used you.
Yeah.
You come to the team when the fucking team's about to go tits up in the creek.
Tits up in the creek.
He was taking care of the vampire.
Fucking floating down Death's River. X is on the
No,
island.
but
He shows up.
Here's the thing I can relate to. I don't have, like you, Eric, you've really specialized and you have, I'd put you, and I've never seen your entire collection, but I've put you up there with the best crankbait collectors in the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I really would. But,
Wow.
and I don't have that, but
Right.
I have an appreciation for old lures, old plugs, and it's awesome. I can't wait to fish with you, and I can't wait to see your full collection one day.
I think
I'd
it
be
would
in
a special
shock,
moment.
man.
Yeah, I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the talisman he's providing to the gatekeeper. I mean, he's giving you some ancient relic that no one else has except me. Like.
Oh, man.
Oh no, there's some hand carved ones he needs, so I got plenty of little.
Oh, well, you should see. You got that bag with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What bag?
The one
I
you
got-
broke out
I
earlier
got
today
lots
when
of
I was
bags.
violently
Oh,
hungover.
You mean the
just
box?
gasping for air?
Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of prototype crankbaits in there. Hand
yeah.
Like you did your own liver transplant.
Dude,
it was
on like an hour and a half sleep, and he's he doesn't realize that he didn't drink last night.
Yeah. All right. There you go. That's
Brian, did you ever think
It's one
about
thing you didn't
switching to something
realize.
else?
You mean like different friends?
New
or-
friends for your garage? Exactly. Stole it from me, you
No,
bastard.
different
You can't do that.
substance.
Than alcohol?
Yeah, like switch to something else. Marijuana, cocaine, heroin. You ever think about it?
Oh yeah, certainly. But I think they all have their, there's a price to pay for everything. Bro. Ain't nothing free.
I don't know. I'm just
Nothing life's
saying.
free.
Why'd you suggest some Jesus to him? Why has it got to be
I
heroin?
know.
Yeah,
Well,
what's wrong with you?
no, it doesn't have to be.
I need new
I was
friends.
talking about a substance. Yeah,
Mike,
I mean
Mike,
that would be good.
You
too.
are a bad influence on your buddy.
I All right, let me get something more mild. How about
Paul, the
whippets?
camp counselor.
Hey, somebody's got to be the moral compass among this crew.
We do
Might as
need
well
one.
be me.
How about just some whippets?
Could have used you a while ago, buddy.
He is like Pete Klusick 2023. We had 10 years of like defiling him. Like if you think about like the last show that he was on, he's asking questions about the dating apps and shit like that with the Uncle Larry's crew. He's corrupted. He's corrupted. We
and,
had
and his obsession with Chinese TikTok.
yes,
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Paul is like
Yeah,
that
he is
rubber
obsessed.
cap that goes over the red side of the battery in case you drop a wrench on it. You know what I mean? Like keeps everyone safe.
I have no idea how to respond to that.
You can't. That's why it's designed that way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I'm clipping that.
Oh man.
What the
Who's his
crap?
red?
He's clipping it.
Christ.
It's pinned.
Never
That's highlighted.
changed, Dave.
So
Never
do you want to hear YU Zero today?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We need to hear this.
Oh,
Hey! Hey! Wow! Back from the dead, folks.
Oh, boy.
Folks at home, Stormtroopers back. Wow.
Stand by.
Stand by.
So you zeroed today. How about the guy who wakes up next to Amy Schumer? So you zeroed today. Would you rather exist? Hold on. So, this is a good one. So you zeroed today. Would you rather exist with Powerbait Paul in Doomsday Bunker? That's my favorite. I only did this so I could say that one. All right. So you zero today. Fishing is stupid and a waste of time anyhow. Get the gym membership. That's it.
Get a gym membership.
It's legend. That's
Oh my god. Spoken word by Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Right there.
Stormtrooper.
Say you
Thank you,
zero
man, from the
today.
bottom of my fishing full heart, man. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. man.
Wow.
I'm crying again.
That's fantastic, Dave.
Brian's Ghost, Stormtrooper, Brian's Huffy, Brian's Van.
Oh man,
Damn it.
so many.
Brian's
moments,
Ghost.
Brian's Ghost was a good one.
Brian's ghost comes from actually his near dead body's ghost that I have a picture of.
Wow.
You still have it?
I have it.
Fuck.
What?
What happened?
So
What?
Brian and no, and this is no fault. This isn't like
No
to make
fault.
no. This isn't to make Brian seem like he's some wild drunk.
It was a no fault.
No, listen. He and I went some horrible New Jersey tournament in the middle of summer. We
Dude.
got disqualified.
Yeah, it
We
was
went-
the Cooper River.
yeah,
it was the top round of
we
Cooper
got,
River.
yeah,
in
we got
July.
we got thrown out of a tournament. We went to the bar.
Our own
we,
club.
Our own our own club that we started.
Yes.
We got ejected because some twat, whatever. But so we go to the bar. We get a couple roast beef sandwiches. We just had a couple beers. Like we did not pound them, dude. We were tired. We're like, let's wrap this day up. Like we got thrown out early enough where we could still go do something productive. All I know is we wind up back at my place in Audubon Park, and he's like laying in the dirt, like on his side.
Got roofied. Roofied?
But
Oh,
I was buzzed enough to where it was funny. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think like let me check his pulse. You know what I mean? Like I go inside, I come out, and he's like laying on the ground.
Fetal position.
What the hell?
So hold on, dude. It gets better. So I like this is back before cell phone cameras, guys. So we had disposable cameras. So I like just took a picture. I snapped a shot of it, right? Like no different than you do now with your cell phone.
Before or after you checked his pulse?
No, I never checked his pulse. he was moving a little bit, so I knew he wasn't like that. I knew he didn't have a heart attack. He's strong as an ox. I didn't even have a heart attack. But anyhow, so my daughter Jacqueline comes running.
She was my biggest fan back then.
Hold on, this is the best part.
right.
Sorry. You just fucked the whole thing up. Now I don't even have to tell the story. So hold on. So she comes running out. She sees him, and my wife tells me she comes running and says, "Mommy, Uncle Brian's laying in the yard." And she comes running back out again, looks out the door. She runs back to her mom again and says, "Mommy, Uncle Brian's laying in the beetle position." So like I'm getting him back to life. I don't know. I think he got food poisoned and had it because we did not drink enough for him to get that reaction.
Food poison.
But something happened. It was
happened.
well beyond this. Like it wasn't that. It was
Yeah.
something else. But so it was like his wife sends like her cousin to come get him. And
Stacy.
she's got him in his work van and like he's
My white FE
the white
E150 work
the,
van.
the panel van IPA.
Yeah.
Right. So
Threw me in the back of it.
So hold on, man. Like I haven't told the story in so long. He wakes up with like all of his tools all over him because Stacy don't know how to drive and none of his shit's secure, but he knows how to drive his truck.
Yeah,
You
you don't
know.
hit speed bumps in a work van.
So hold on, man. Like he's recapping what's going on to me. And he's like, Heather was squirting him. His wife was squirting him with a hose, a garden hose, as he's in the truck, like just hosing him down, trying to wake him up.
my God.
Like he's. Maybe I should have said that. I'm sorry.
No, it was actually a water bottle.
Oh.
And I guess I don't know. It's like I got out of the van, but just kind of like an amoeba would just into the driveway.
Slug.
And I was like,
He's sticking his tongue out trying to lap it up.
and she like poured like water on me. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like you know how in every movie when the prisoner and they're busting the prisoner's balls and they're putting the water close enough to him and he's like trying to lick it.
Trying to get it.
Yeah. So hold on.
so I was conscious enough to have a sense of humor.
He did. He said,
but I was paralyzed.
He's
so
like,
I did get
because Jacqueline my daughter always loved him, and he's like, man, he's like, I don't even. I'm like, dude, your wife's on the phone. She's pissed. Like you're like, what's going on? He's like, dude, I don't care. Only thing that matters to me, I lost my biggest fan today. So then I developed this camera, right? I developed these, and there's like a series of pictures on. Who knows? But the picture of Brian on the ground, there's like this white mist over top of him, and it looked like a ghost.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a ghost.
And he's like, he looks like he fell off a building because he's like, Like the way, like he was like improperly trying to put a gutter up or something. You know what I mean? Like and fell off. You know, like he was just awkwardly
Brian,
landed.
do you think it was the roast beef, or do you think you were actually roofied?
Roofie.
You think you were roofied?
Impossible.
Yeah.
It was Dominic's, dude.
Was it Dominic's?
It was
Why-
Dom's.
Two dudes show up in fishing t-shirts. No one's roofing you.
Jerseys? You had
All right,
jerseys?
all right, then
At
rationalize the
one in the
mist
afternoon.
around my.
I don't know.
That
That's
was
where
your spirit leaving.
that
Man.
was-
You were half dead.
No.
I mean, you know, the Crypt Keeper's boss here might be able to expand
I just said
upon
it.
that.
He was
Yeah.
half dead.
I don't know.
You saved his life again.
No, I honestly
man.
probably was one of the worst friends ever because I just couldn't figure out where the camera was to get the picture up.
Let me get a picture first. Then we'll take care of
Picture first, pulse later. Because if I touch him, he might move and then wreck the picture.
I subscribe to that. Thing.
No, because I mean,
I agree.
I drug his body into a bush one time to hide him from the
Oh
cops.
my God! Yeah.
What?
Lake George, New York.
Yeah, I hit him in a church bush.
Yep.
Really?
That's sacrilegious.
For extended period of time.
Well, no, not on purpose. I was smashed too, but I could walk and I couldn't find my truck.
Yeah, you recovered.
Walking does that.
I
You
couldn't.
know, no. And then I swear to
my
God, a
God.
dude helped me drag your lifeless body into the bush.
Into a church bush.
It was like,
No,
you know, how
out
like,
of it.
well, they have like, no, into it. He helped me
Oh.
hide you because by the time I got back to you, you were good enough.
She's an accomplice.
No, like you got up and like when I finally found you, like it was almost daylight by the time I found my truck that was parked in the parking lot of the place I got thrown out of. I didn't know that. I thought I was on a side street. Oh my God. I had a cop. I badged a cop and I had a cop try to help me find it. He was finally like, dude, you got to get the fuck out. Like he didn't, like, I can't help you no more.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
after
man.
we do that, we had to go get in your boat and drive to the island where our tent was.
Oh, my God.
Lake George.
Oh, my God.
Dude, this
Probably
guy,
should probably not tell anymore.
this guy pulled up, man. He had a, I swear to God, he had a Chicago Bears hat on with a giant long black haircut. He grabbed an arm. I grabbed an arm. He saw me dragging him out of the street and he stopped to help me. He's like, you need a hand?
You need a hand to hide this body.
I'm like, yeah, get his other arm. I'm like, I don't, because what I didn't want to have happen was someone, you know, because we were getting
Someone to call the cops.
someone to call the cops, and I got to figure out what hospital he's at. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, I'm like,
yeah.
I know he's not going to die, so get him in the bush. I'll hide him. You know,
Time will
and
heal.
we'll figure it out later.
Yeah, time will heal. He's in a bush. Time will
They
pass.
used to sell the stuff in GNC back in the day.
Gamma hydroxybutate.
Yeah.
What it was a supplement that bodybuilders used to get deep REM sleep.
Yeah.
GHB, also known as the date rape drug.
Well, we didn't know that then.
No, so it was called scooping. And you would just take a little bit, throw it in your beer, and you were extremely euphoric. But you think you're going to increase the euphoria, and
It's
you
just
don't.
One more little cap.
One more little capful winds up having you drug out by your legs by bouncers and like just thrown into the street like trash.
Oh, my
You
God.
can hear it, but you can't.
You can,
Yeah.
you
there's
know
no
your head.
body function.
You know your head's bouncing off the steps as you're being drugged by your
Ding,
ankles.
ding, ding, ding.
And then you see the flashlights in your eyes as you're laying on the sidewalk. Yeah, it's nothing to be proud of, but that's what happened. You know,
Full disclosure.
don't do it, kids. There's other ways to have fun.
Don't do it.
All right.
Don't do it. We learned a lot tonight.
But
good show tonight, guys. Good show tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed this show.
Billy's winning Grammys and Issues on his way. And
Dude, what?
drugged myself in like
Yeah,
New York.
yeah.
Hold on.
I mean, we had the whole gamut.
no,
tonight.
so anyone, Brian is probably, and no one will disagree, the funnest guy of anyone
of
that you
course.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no. Every good time starts with him, and every time I almost ever died was with him. But like, you know, like, no, I don't want you to think I'm trying to
No, stop. It's all
describe
good.
you as a reprobate. I mean,
get it.
it's amazing. Like,
Reprobate?
yeah, like these
Fantastic word.
all these times, like all the funny back end stories are because it was a great time leading up to that. You know,
Very true.
I'd agree with
you don't get drug into a bush at a church if you weren't having fun.
That's right.
What
Just a
bad
little
night
too
ever
much.
ends with you being drugged with like it never ends that way, right?
Right.
Like-
All the guys that knew their limit went home early, got up early to go fish next. They don't have a good
And they
story
don't
to
have
tell.
that story to tell.
No.
Not one.
They
Nope. No, they don't.
And they already got two keepers that won the tournament today.
What's that? Oh
no, what was it? Four
for
for
five.
for 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow, that's brutal.
I hope the lakes freeze for fucking 6 months. You assholes, you gotta like hang out with your family and do chores, mow the lawn in January. I don't care.
Back to normality.
The next show, let's talk about Mike on his bachelor party starting a fight with a 6'10" bouncer. And McGraw cradling him up and carrying him in like a cradle to stuff him in the back of the trunk while he was trying to fight us. Yeah, we'll talk about that the next one.
That should be good.
I do remember that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Because I had what
last night, Mike?
I don't know. I don't know where John was last night.
I called him. All right.
Yeah.
Carry on.
I don't know.
I forgot about that.
I don't know. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll
in
talk
the
about next
reunion
one.
show. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. Want to thank Billy Strings for joining us. Ish Monroe. Want to thank everybody here tonight. Paul, Jake, Dave, Eric, Brian DeCarpenter. Thank you guys. It was an awesome show. It was a fun show. And this is a big one too. This is like the show before the show.
Oh, and Mike,
which is a big show.
Mike, I got something to say.
Yes.
It's officially been a year since I joined Ike Live.
Hey, Power Bay Paul, 1 year in. It's awesome. Paul, it's been,
Maybe New Year.
It's been awesome
Thanks
having
for
you.
tolerating me and picking on me.
Are
for a
you
whole
kidding
year.
me? Nah, it's been awesome to have you on the show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Paul, you got to wear a shirt with a number 1 on it next week.
I don't think I got one of those.
I got to get you one.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you have a good night. Eagles tomorrow. Go Eagles.
Last Lake Live next week.
Yeah, I'm too busy.
Good night, everybody.
fishing.
It's not the last like that.
Well,
They're playing tomorrow?
It's the last time anyone will ever see Dave.
No, get out of here.
All right.
Yeah, I'm done. Eagles are playing tomorrow?
Yeah. Eagles are playing tomorrow.
All right.
3 o'clock.
I don't know how to shut this down.
I don't either. It's just going to run all night. We're all going to leave, just continue to talk.
I don't
And
have an outro.
the lights will come off, and that'll be the show.
See Brian's ghost.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night.
Oh, try. Is it on the clapper? Hold on a second. Anything? Did it go off yet?
You think Brian's ghost is going to say goodbye next week?
Dude, I think we're going to have a big reunion. I think there will be spirits and vapors in the room. The whole night.
Stormtroopers.
Yeah.
And then
I heard something.
Brian he can't shut the show off, so just put a big Ike Live symbol.
slap a sticker.
Yeah,
over
put
your
a
face.
sticker on there.
Yeah, I heard something amazing. I was we need some pop.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah,
Ball's
we need a
back.
pop up on there.
Yeah, Brian, you're back too.
Hold on. So
Right.
I don't know if anyone's watching, but keep talking until I figure this out.
Just unplug it. That's how I fix
Let's get
everything.
Jimmy Houston on while we're here.
Was he the
And
one
his
that stayed
dog.
on it? We thought he hung up and he
the dogs are barking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're like, what is that?
Like 10 minutes later, it was like, we all keep looking around. I'm looking behind, looking at Brandon, baby Brandon back there.
But I
and
think we
looking
talked to him
around.
for like another 20 minutes
What's
after that,
going on
right?
here?
Like we
Oh,
talked to him for
yeah.
another 20 minutes.
Yeah, then he came back on.
Yeah.
And he was a better interview then
I know.
than he was during the regular
I
interview.
know. I know. It was amazing.
He loosened up because of his dogs or something.
Did you ever
know?
think that when we were 10,
Oh, no, dude.
you'd be talking to Roland Martin
Oh,
and
dude,
Jimmy
we've had
Houston?
Hank on. We've had fucking Jimmy, Denny.
Like, the guys we watched as little guys, you know?
Crazy. Crazy. Dude, the only regret is we have not had Rick Clun on. I am so sad about that.
And what's
know?
your Uncle
We
Don?
actually did have him on.
We did?
Yeah.
What?
In Mike's defense,
Why'd you do that?
I wasn't on. I was on?
it's on the list. In
Oh.
Mike's defense, what he meant to say was we didn't have him in studio.
That's what I meant.
That's what you meant.
Yeah, of course I
Came
meant
out
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it came out different.
Right.
I really regret I have the best legend.
I had my dream
he was
cast
on-
on and
he-
forgot
he
it.
was on like- yeah, my life is so bad. I forgot that I had my idol on.
It was all dream.
Thank you.
All right, Brian. Anytime you're ready. Shut the show.
I guess it's hit leave studio.
I think that's what I've been saying for the past 5 minutes.
All right.
Usually off.
Hit it again.
Leave.
Go. this. Check it out, man. I've been holding on to that.